Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Players Take episode 151. I'm your host, Justin DeSimone, joined by my co-host. He doesn't have COVID, Montrell Rice.
Test negative, baby.
And we are joined by a guest this week, our friend Deejay. We have mentioned him many times on the show, but he's officially joining us for the first time. Deejay, how are you?
2 + 2 = fish.
There you go. You also don't have COVID, I assume?
No, I do not have COVID.
We
I
are-
am well and healthy.
We're all lucky on this show this week. Omicron, the Transformer,
Vaccinated boys.
taking over, man. Megatron's on his way, boys. He's coming to planet Earth. He's gonna wipe us all out.
Vaccinated boys.
I'm here for it though. Bring it on.
I know,
Because
fucking wipe us out. man.
then we
Let's
can
go.
unite. That's the only time we're going to unite anyway. So yeah, come on,
True.
Megatron.
True. Yeah, bring it. Bring it, Megatron. Let's go, dude. I mean, look, either way that goes, I'm okay with it. If we get wiped out, you know what? Maybe we don't deserve to be here. But if we survive, then yeah, we'll unite and everything. Maybe we'll actually be friends. You know, get over our differences.
Right? That Naruto ending.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, so for those of you who haven't listened before, this is our weekly show where we talk about video games, video game news, and other topics pertaining to video games. We post at 6 a.m. Central Time on Fridays on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and your favorite podcast app of choice. And if you have a question for us, please send them to us on Twitter at The Players Take, or you can email us at theplayerstake01@gmail.com, and we will answer those on the show. So let's get right into it. This week's a special episode. We're not doing news or games we're playing or anything like that. This is going to be a fully dedicated episode to our most anticipated games of the next calendar year, 2022. Are you guys excited to talk through all the games that probably aren't going to come out this year?
No. It's like, no, yeah, I am.
Yeah, that's the energy I want, Montreal. That's more the energy I'm looking for. Okay.
Oh yeah,
All right,
COVID.
Oh no.
Well, we'll talk about this next week, but yeah, COVID's striking already. The E3 is going full digital again this year, so it feels like that show is just dying slowly every year, and will probably be officially dead in a couple of years, but we'll see. All right, let's waste no more time, boys. Let's just jump right in. I'm going to go in order of calendar release as best I can here. And we all have our own lists, so we're going to try to get through these as quickly as possible. But we do have a lot of overlap. So let's start with the first game we have that's coming out the soonest, which is 3 weeks from tomorrow, as of recording, is Pokemon Legends Arceus. I always feel like I say that name wrong.
Arceus. Arceus or Arceus?
Whatever.
Arceus.
People know what I'm saying. Okay, Arceus. Arceus? Yeah, sure.
It's Arceus. Arceus.
Asus?
So-
No, it's definitely not Aces.
Gut check on this game, boys. How are we feeling about it? 3 weeks out. You guys excited for it?
Maybe. I don't know. It's weird. I am excited for it because it's something new from Pokemon, so I'm gonna play it and I'm gonna support it. But I already see like diehard Pokemon fans like, yo, give me my regular eight fucking gym battles in a Elite Four. Give me that shit. And it's like, bro, we have that. Like, we have like 7 of those.
We just
Go
got
back and
that
play.
like 2 months ago, dude.
Yeah, you can go back and play that shit. Like,
Yeah.
so I am looking forward to it. But I know a lot of people aren't really looking forward to it. I'm disappointed in the combat, but I understand them not taking too much drastic changes because Pokemon fans are like old people. They just hate change.
Mhm.
And this is definitely a good change in the making, in my opinion. I just don't know what the story. I mean, I know what the story is. It just looks weird, if that makes any sense. Like, I still don't know. We're like a month out, or actually like 2 weeks out, 2 or 3 weeks out, and I still don't have a solid understanding of what the game is. Now, granted, I have been in dark on this game, so that's purposeful. When I buy the game, I want to be surprised. But I just haven't been seeing any news about it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not I just don't know I don't know what I feel about the game at this point. Like I put it on here because it is an intriguing game. It's different. It's kind of more what we wanted, out of Pokemon Montreal. But at the same time, the game looks pretty basic. I just don't know. I don't know. Like, are we going to be getting very deep gameplay out of this game? I don't really think so. But like you, I've kind of been on blackout on this game though, so I'm not sure really how deep it is, but based on what I've seen, the little I've seen of it, the first couple trailers, it I'm just not sure how actually excited I am about it. But DJ, what about you, man? Are you feeling this game?
It's like I'm excited, but I'm not excited for it. It's kind of as what Montrell said. Like I'm excited because it's something different and new from Pokemon. Um, and I'm looking at it more or less like the Pokemon. What is it? Colossal and Gale of Darkness.
Right,
Coliseum.
right.
Coliseum.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's how I'm looking at it as. Like they said that the combat is not, it's turn based, but it's more supposed to be a real time action turn based, and so I'm not a fan of how they explain what the combat is. And then if it is as generic as how they explain it, like, hey, you just got a speed type or a power type. Um, I mean, that's not going to be satisfying to play, or for me, it won't be satisfying to play. But like, it's a Pokemon game. I don't really expect much from it. It was the same way from Sword and Shield. Like I played through Shield. It was Pokemon. People was hyping it up to be something it's not, and it was like it's just more Pokemon. Like it's no big changes. Like I just
So
play Pokemon because it's Pokemon now, and I enjoy
yeah,
it. You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
You sound like us though. You sound a little burnt out on Pokemon.
Oh yeah, I'm done with Pokemon. Like the
Okay.
only thing that I play with Pokemon is the mainline games, right?
Yeah.
I don't play
Yeah.
any of this. Like I didn't get the new Diamond and Pearl.
Mhm.
I What I would like them to do, if they was to take this Arceus and just remake Gold and Silver like this, I would be happy.
Mm.
Like I would like just
You're
make, that's
preaching to
a
the choir,
dream.
man.
That is a dream game
Yeah.
because I am hoping that this is a test to see if people like this Pokemon style. And if they was to incorporate this in the next generation, that's dope. But if they was to make a side game with this, with like Gold and Silver, uh, yes, thank you. You fulfill my adult dream from a good Pokemon game. At my actually.
So, what's funny about that is, um, I call Pokemon fans old people, but the newer, like the Pokemon fans that are currently Pokemon fans, they hate the older generation games, like to a T. Like they hate Red and Blue, they hate fucking Gold and Silver.
Mm.
I saw someone say that Black and White 2 is better than Heart Gold and Soul Silver, while Black and White 2 is very good. And there was so many people
Ooh, I'm
agreeing with that.
sorry. I'm sorry. I like Black and White 2 is my favorite Pokemon game after Gold and Silver.
And I said the same thing. I said it's high up on the totem pole if you're talking about like top 3 Pokemon. Obviously, Red and Blue or Yellow is going to be up there for me because just like that's just nostalgia based, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going like objectively wise, it'll be Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and then Black and White 2 for me. Like those are my top 2. But yeah, people, I think when I say this, guys, we're old as fuck. We're old as fuck. I don't think people view Gold and Silver or even Heart Gold and Soul Silver in the best of lenses.
Don't put it
Even
on the
though,
pedestal.
yeah,
Well,
even though I
think
feel
it
like
comes
it's the superior Pokemon game in my opinion.
Yeah.
it comes from them not playing it, right? So I'm pretty sure a lot of Pokemon fans, like especially this young generation, they view Red and Blue at a higher light because of all the remakes, right? Like the multiple times they was able to
Mhm.
play that and with a different name. The only time you got that with Gold and Silver was with Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and that
Yeah.
introduced the Black and White generation to that. Or was it a Black and White generation or after Black and White?
That was
Diamond and Pearl. It was a Diamond and Pearl generation. The Diamond and Pearl. No, it was a Black and White
no,
generation.
it was the Black and White generation they used a Black and White engine for Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You remember that Black and White
did.
was was the 2D. It was a
Yeah,
2D
Yeah,
sprite,
it
so
was the
2.5
last of the
3D
last
Yeah.
of the 2D isometric.
Yep.
Yes. But
So
yeah,
yeah,
that introduced them to gold and silver. So I think they may not like it as much as we do because that's nostalgia, but don't they still have that
man,
same appreciation for gold and silver like how you have for black and white?
dude, it's not nostalgia, DJ.
I
Like
know it's not nostalgia.
Heart
Like
Gold, and
that,
Soul
those
Silver
games
are
are.
objectively amazing fucking games.
Oh yes.
Like just let me list off a few reasons why. Okay, first of all, 2 regions. That's number 1. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's obvious. No other Pokemon game has ever done that. So get fucked. Second reason is the Pokédex. The Pokédex in Johto, especially in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, is like the perfect amount of Pokemon for me, for the game, for the world to feel full and like varied in terms of what kind of Pokemon you have in all the different areas, especially with 2 regions.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like 151 from the original games is actually a pretty light number. It feels like you start running into the same Pokemon a fucking lot in red and blue and yellow. But with the Johto games, like you have the old Pokemon and this new group as well. So it to me it I don't know, it so that aspect is really important. The next thing is there's just so many small little features, like little details in this game that like future Pokemon games did away with, like being able to rebattle trainers and like get their phone numbers and shit. That shit was awesome. And you
The
actually
day and night cycle,
the day night
real
cycle,
time,
you get
real
to
time day and night cycle.
rebattle gym leaders as well. If you want, like you can get their numbers as well and go rebattle them again, and their teams will be different. They'll be higher level. They'll have new evolutions or different Pokemon in them entirely, which is just super fucking cool. You know, it's like the game gives you more to do after you beat it. You know, there's more. You could just
Yeah.
walk around and like go battle trainers you've already battled.
Don't
You know?
forget Battle in Red. Being
Yep.
able to go not only go over to another region or older region, but that region actually progressed with the time, right?
Yep.
It wasn't the
Yeah.
same. Like
Yep.
Right.
even the story was kind of like the best story they had so far in a Pokemon game, and with Heart
Mhm.
Gold and Soul Silver, they expanded on that. And Heart Gold and Soul Silver is nothing but an expansion of what Crystal did, and so you had like
Mm-hmm.
3 different arcs in one Pokemon game.
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
with everything you
I-
said, it's just the best Pokemon game hands down.
I
I'm sorry.
wonder. I mean, Game Freak and Nintendo is so close-lipped about Heart Gold or Pokemon in general, as far as like the production aspect of it. It makes me wonder: was there a huge like leadership change? Because like if you all the stuff you guys just mentioned, right? Why did we not get that in the other games?
Yeah.
It's like
Um,
that stuff just never came back. And I
what's
understand,
the
like,
name? It's
I
something came out
understand, like,
about this recently, Trill.
oh,
Sorry to
really?
cut you off, but Did you know gaming? They got like a lot of transcripts from like all these interviews they did, like from people who work at Game Freak and the Pokemon Company, and something like that. Not that specifically, but like the reason why Gold and Silver was made as it is was touched upon, and I think that could be the reason why they never uh,
Do
made
you
games
know
like
the
that.
reason why?
Because I forgot was because I wasn't paying attention really. It was just on in the background as white noise as I was working on my game.
Gotcha.
But I know it was somewhere along the fact they was having trouble with development with Gold and Silver.
Mm.
And then I know I think it was like a pivot, like they had to make a change to the way that they was making it before they got to the path of who we know
The
what Gold and Silver
pipeline.
was
Yeah.
today. Yeah. So something happened. It wasn't nothing like game breaking because they talked about the whole Pokemon development origins from like when it first started and how it took them 6 years to make the game and all the other stuff. It's a pretty good little documentary. I need to be watching. If you want to know about Game Freak, the answer may lie within that video though.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we got off track here, but
Yeah, we did.
back to the game in question. I think this game, hopefully there's something here that Game Freak can take into future games, especially the open world aspect, or even changing up the battle formula a little. I've always wanted Pokemon to kind of get away from the turn-based element and get a little closer to action. I know that's difficult, but it'd be
Man,
something worth dabbling in, I think.
Every time we mention that, every time I say that on Twitter or on Reddit, I get attacked because the Pokemon fans do not want that, bro. They do not want that. They still think they said Pokemon are made for kids, and I'm like, bro, kids are making fucking Fortnite fucking headshots.
Yeah, like, dude, they're building like the Eiffel Tower in Fortnite and then sniper headshotting you while you're running around like grandpa's ass, and you can't even build a four walled structure, you know? Like, so get out of here, dude. These like they play like Nintendo games are for kids, and most Nintendo games are action games. So get out of here with that shit.
I mean, look at Rabbids, Mario Rabbids. They made a tactical game for kids. You know, a tactical strategy, tactical game, whatever that genre is. XCOM for kids.
Pretty much, yeah.
But, all right. Let's move on to our next game. So the next one I have here is I'm the only one that has it, I think, is Dying Light 2 Stay Human.
Fuck,
so
I forgot about this game. All right. Let's talk about that.
Well,
let's go.
So yeah, I don't know how much there is to say about this. This game definitely clearly went through some amount of tortured development in the last few years, because it was originally announced to come out in, I think, 2019, and then it got pushed to 2020, and then we didn't hear much about it in 2020. Then it got pushed to 2021, and then we started hearing more about it again, but they put it like a firm release date of December on it, and then they ended up pushing it here to February. So I think it's coming out on 2/4. I really think it's going to hit that date, but I'm personally pretty excited about it. I think this game is going to be a significant expansion on the first game, which is saying a lot because the first game is actually very wide and it's got a lot going on. It's a deep game. So I'm interested to see how it is, because there is definitely some kind of choice based things you can do, where there's some base building and stuff, and depending on what you do, that it affects the world around you, which I think is going to be an intriguing thing for a game like this. But Montrell, what about it? What about this game is exciting you?
Well, I really like the first one. I'm just looking forward to the second one. That's pretty much it. I kind of went into the dark on this game. I was excited that's coming out on my birthday, so that's cool.
Nice.
But I did play this with my brother Deejay a little bit, and we were playing through it for a while, and then he stopped playing it because we were working on different time schedules, and I played it by myself. But I do like the game a lot. I think it's really cool. I thought it was really different at the time because I think the only game that did the first person parkour was Mirror's Edge, but this one had Mirror's Edge combined.
It had combat. It had
with the
survival elements. You know, there was the day-night cycle. They had the care packages that dropped too, which was that was predates BR games, which is really funny to think about. Because it makes me wonder if PUBG got it from Dying Light, because that was such a cool element to that game. Was care packages would just drop randomly, and you would have to go find where they dropped. You know, it was a really fun mini game within the game. But Deejay, did you play Dying Light at all?
Yeah, I played Dying Light when it first came out. It was one of the mini games from that generation that I beat multiple times. I beat that game 3 times. With 3 different co-op groups. I had 2 different duos and 1 whole quad group. I'm not excited for this game. I just I was when they first announced it, and then it was mainly because of the delays. I just stopped caring for it. And with the time that it's releasing, knowing the games that I would like to play, I know I'm not going to have time for it. So but if you are going to buy the game, please buy it day one. Day one purchases really help developers.
I mean, the co-op, man, I don't know. The co-op in Dying Light is surprisingly super fun.
Yes.
So I imagine that will stay the same in Dying Light too. So
I love it how it was classic co-op, like Halo. It doesn't matter what the story is, just drop in a player and y'all have fun together.
Yep. But all right, let's move on to our next game. The next one I'm seeing is Montrell has Sifu on his, and so does Deejay. Sifu on it's coming out on 2/8, February 8th.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, guys. I have nothing to say about this game.
Well, I mean, I've been looking for like an action style, beat 'em up style, like a kung fu game, man. Like I just been looking for a good one. Like the Judgment games are really good, and the Yakuza games are really good, but they're more arcadey. And this was more like it seemed like it's gonna be a little bit more technical, like Absolver level technical, but not as advanced as Absolver. Because Absolver was fun to play, but it was like it was too advanced. If that makes any sense, like
yeah,
it was too technical. Yeah, it wasn't a game that I can just sit down and play. Like how I can play like Devil May Cry, even though it's a super technical game. It's not super technical. It depends on your skill level. Whereas with like Absolver, it was like almost Dark Souls level worth of technicality rather. Sifu doesn't seem like that. Seem like it's gonna be a nice technical action game. I'm really looking forward to it. Every time I look at the gameplay for it, like I'm like, yeah, this is what I want. Like this is the kung fu game I've been waiting for, yo. Like I don't know, man. It just looks so fucking dope. I don't know how you can't look at it and just not be hyped for it. It's so fucking cool.
like I'm the same way. Like I wasn't looking for like specifically a kung fu game, because I tried to get into Lazarva. It's the same team that made Lazarva, right?
I believe so. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I tried to get into that and I couldn't get into it because, as you stated, it's too technical. It's like those fighting games that make you do a lot to do cool stuff. It was like, no, that's not what gamers want. We want to do cool stuff with minimal inputs, or just just an easy combat system, But you should feel rewarded by if you have a better understanding of the game, and that's what this seems like compared to what Azarbit is. It seems like they just basically nailed and polished what they had for one game and making it to a dope rogue like with an old man, or a dude that if you keep dying he turns to an old man. So like that concept is dope. I want to see if I can make it through the whole game or the whole run, with just a young person, or if I can die at the very beginning to get an old man and just make a run through the straight to old man. I like the when you come back from death, the commentary the AI make about you. Um, it's dope. It's just a dope game. It's a dope game. And like Retro said, if you like the martial arts games, like I think this would be your game.
Yeah, and like and I watched like the developer diaries for it. They recorded so many different fucking animations for like a whole bunch of scenarios that you'll be put in. So I just think it's just fucking dope. I'm glad Slow Clap had another chance to make another martial arts game. Like I said, Absolver was really cool, but it was very niche. I think this game, even though it's kind of a niche game, I think it'll still reach out to a lot of different audiences to see what they have to offer.
All right, fair enough. All right, let's move on to our next one. Deejay's the only one that has this one. Is King of Fighters 15.
Go yep. So DJ. We can go very fast with this one because I have an asterisk by it, and that's because I want it, but I probably won't buy it.
Yeah, I understand.
Just because all the like games that's on there, man. But I was hyped. I was hyped to get into another fighting game, and King of Fighters was coming out. With all the promotion, I played the beta not too long ago. And then there's another game that we're going to talk about later that I'm excited for. And so that's another reason why this is pushing King of Fighters off for me, because I know I won't probably put in the time into King of Fighters. And as much as I want to play it, like I got my craving right now for another fighting game, Brawlhalla, and I can wait till the summertime for the actual game that I want to play. So.
Yeah, you have 4 games on your list within a 1 week period, so
yeah,
it's gonna be tough. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is the next big one. Is Horizon Forbidden West on February 18th. We all have this one listed, and this is a game I've definitely gotten more excited about the closer we've gotten to it, and the more gameplay I've seen. This game, what they've shown of it, looks like it's vastly improved from the first game, and I'm talking like not even in the same ballpark. The first game is very simple in terms of its actual like action gameplay mechanics, and I don't think the wider video game industry really acknowledges that aspect of Horizon very much. It's just kind of a universally lauded game that I think is a little overblown in terms of how good people think it is. But this game I actually think might actually meet those expectations.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like the first game. The story was really fucking dope. The world was dope. It's just the combat loop or the gameplay loop for me was not as integral as I wanted it to be. And I have to think too, when this game came out, I think this was 2017. So this is like a lot of the games at that time were just starting to get into their combat loop. Especially the Western studios, they were really starting to build great combat. I think like one of the first really good AAA Western games that came out that started doing combat really good that I think a lot of developers looked at secretly was DMC Devil May Cry. That kind of changed the way Western developers do combat, and you saw that when even in like Batman Arkham City or Arkham Knight or Arkham Asylum, that kind of changed the way combat did it. Western Studios did combat as well, Assassin's Creed and everything of that nature. But for some reason, this game was still a step back from those games. And you can tell it was kind of developed with one thing in mind. I respect it, but at the end of the day, for me, it wasn't that fun.
Yeah. Well, it was their first attempt at a game.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
To be fair, like they were a shooter studio, making an open world action RPG. So I mean, the game is good. It's not a bad game. I'm not saying the Horizon's a bad game because, like Montrell said, the world and the story and the dialogue was really good. Actually, they really knocked that aspect out of the park. It's just the game, though, like the crux of what you're doing most of the time when you're playing the game, like 80% of the time, is running around in combat. You know, it's like, so that aspect definitely brought it down. But this one, though, like, I mean, this game looks like honestly kind of incredible. This might be the first next gen like PS5, Xbox Series X generation game that is actually really gonna kind of blow our hair back. That's kind of how I'm feeling about it right now. But we'll see when it comes out. DJ, what about you? Are you hyped for this game?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Everything that y'all said about the first one, gameplay wise, is funny because I didn't feel that. I swear, like I think this is just my bias to anybody with a bow and arrow. Because when I played Tomb Raider, I played the game majorly with a bow and arrow. So
Yeah.
this game, if you're talking about the main character is the female with a bow and an arrow, oh, I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
I wasn't like I understand when Cheryl was coming from with the whole melee thing, because that's one thing that I always try, even when I have when I have characters with range combat primarily, right? And even with the Infamous games, y'all seen this. I try to go in for a melee because eventually somebody's going to come in close, so I want that to feel good and to be like a nice combat loop for my melee, and this wasn't. And so that was disappointing because now I'm just have to rely mainly on all my weapons. Like I'm playing this like Ratchet and Clank.
Right.
I wasn't trying to play like Ratchet and Clank. But I haven't really kept up with any of the newer trailers. The last thing I saw was from I want to say it was E3 or something, or the Horizon conference.
You
So
need to watch it.
I don't want to watch it because I like to go blackout. I don't like to like hype myself up.
Yeah, you're right.
I hate hype, and that's
well,
why
they're spoiling what
so
monsters
much.
are in the game. They're spoiling what monsters are in the game actually with the most recent trailers, and it's really annoying me on Twitter lately. So yeah, I actually don't even go look at anything. Just wait.
The last thing that I saw, it was the Horizon state of play when they showed the big cinematic trailer after like that first dope encounter that we saw. I saw everything she could do in there, and I was like, I'm sold.
Her melee combat is going to be significantly better, and that's one of the main things we were worried about. That I was really worried about going into the next game, but I mean, from the gameplay I've seen, that fucking has been alleviated. So I'm just looking forward to. I didn't have any issues with the story or the world building, so I already know that shit's gonna be great because the first one was great. So
I can't wait to see money behind it. I can't wait to see money behind that and see what they're going to do, like extra with the story stuff.
Dev time too, man. Like they've had a while for this game to kind of gestate and bake in the oven. So that's what I'm saying. I'm really feeling this. This is I actually think, as much as I'm a God of War kind of like fanboy of the 2018 game, I honestly think this game is probably going to outshine Ragnarok, to be honest.
I don't know, man. We haven't seen the gameplay from Ragnarok.
Well, the thing with Ragnarok is it looks like they're really just using they're reusing the engine and a lot of the animations, which is not a problem per se, but they're not. I don't think they're putting as much effort into improving the game as it looks like Guerrilla is with Horizon. Like this looks like a transformed game. It's like going to the next level, whereas Ragnarok kind of feels like it's going to be more of the same, even though the same is going to be excellent. Like it's not really doing anything a lot new, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So
that's exactly how I feel about it.
Yeah. That's where I'm at with it. So, but we're getting Horizon first, so that's good for us if we do feel that way. So, this game's going to be a big one. I'm really excited for it on February 18th. All right, let's move on to the next one. So Deejay's next game is Destiny 2, the Witch Queen.
Yep, that has a double asterisk. The first one means too many games are out. I'm not going to play it. The second one means I'm definitely going to play it because it's free. So later down the road, it's going to be on Game Pass for free too. So I don't have to rush this one, but it's one that is on my watch because I jumped into Destiny where the ice powers came in to play, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It starts to feel like Destiny from the Iron Banner days, with all the new improvements. I was having a blast playing Destiny. I was coming for the whole season, a whole fucking battle pass. I was 5 seasons in, and I was I bought the battle pass, and then I was playing it every day. I was addicted to Destiny again, and so. With what's coming back out with this, seeing the story, it sounds dope as fuck, and you got the Fallen with the light now, and you harnessing the dark, the story from Destiny is getting dope, and I like the storytelling I've been doing. And for each season, if you never so this is how the new seasons work, right? It's the dopest experience ever. I like the way that Destiny is handling battle passes. Is that you get the whole story, but it's not upfront. You can experience the whole story in 2 hours, like people used to do. You get more of it, but they stretch it over throughout the week. So every week there's a mission that you play through, and those missions have quests that you can do. And then you get the big cinematic in week 1 and at the final week. And sometimes you probably get these dope other cinematics speaking in between. And then throughout that, and as you're doing the regular Destiny, quests, and you're doing your daily stuff, they got specific missions that you can do for that battle pass or whatever the Witch Queen will be doing. And doing that, everyone is talking about all the stuff that's going on, and the world is changing every week and is affecting, and that's changing the story that's being told in the game from the AI. It's dope. It's a dope experience. If somebody explained that and say, hey, this is Destiny 2, you probably wouldn't believe me. If I told you this is a new game that's coming on next year, you'd be sign me up for that. But I'm sorry. If you get into Destiny, I would suggest trying Witch Queen if you haven't played it in a while. It's something I'm definitely looking to play, but probably in the summertime when nothing is really out.
Yeah, I'll probably be playing that with you, because I was kind of mad upset you weren't telling me you were playing Destiny, because I was playing that.
They fixed the system, dude. Oh, they fixed the system. I'm sorry. I just start playing it. It happens. But yeah, we definitely playing this together. I can't wait to dive into this, but.
All right, fair enough. All right, next game. This is probably the next big one coming out is Elden Ring. We all have it on February 25th. So
can I start off with Double Star?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, you can go ahead.
There's so many games coming out, man. And I know that game looks dope. I really want to play. I saw that first trailer when they first really demonstrated everything. And for me, not being a Dark Souls person, the only Dark Souls game that I played and enjoyed, I played the first Demon Souls on PS3. So before anybody judge me, shut the F up, because I played that game and I bought it off the shelf. I was working at Best Buy. I just bought it just because. I don't know nothing about it, and I was mad as fuck when I played it. God damn, this is hard.
No, that's funny because I remember you told me about it when I played Dark Souls, and then you're like, "Oh, I played Demon Souls." You had like a fucking morality clause against me or whatever the fuck. I'm like, so, and then I went back and bought it when I got a PS3. I went back and bought it and I played it too.
Man, it's so good. It's so good, man. That's one of the first games that I felt that I was on the know about before somebody else, and I hate it. but I played Bloodborne. I like the game. I have yet to play Sekiro, and that's because I had a strike against Activision last year, and that's the only reason I haven't bought it, because I didn't buy it when I was on strike. I forgot what was going on with Activision.
Man. Just buy it used.
I am going to buy it used.
Just buy used. You're robbing yourself of an amazing.
So now that you mentioned Sekiro, bro, this is the. I'm so fucking petty. I think this is the primary reason I'm not too excited about it, because they're not using Sekiro's engine, they're using Dark Souls engine or combat system. And if you know me in Sekiro, or you know us rather in Sekiro, I felt like Sekiro was the perfect baby between fucking Dark Souls, Demon Souls, and Bloodborne, and its own flair, obviously, put together in one package. And with Elden Ring, it just felt like they went back to Dark Souls 3. I love Dark Souls 3. It's just open world now. You have a jump button. Like, that's what it is to me. And that's why I am excited for the game. But I feel like it's like maybe a generation too late, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have this on the list, but I really don't know. I have a feeling I'm not going to play this game. Because I'm with you, Montrell. I think FromSoft. I think Sekiro is like, that's what I want out of them. I don't want this RPG bullshit. Like I just don't like. I don't. No offense to them, but I don't feel like they do it like particularly great. From what I've played of it, of their games.
No, you're
like
right. You're right.
Their other games, like Neo, is a super tightly wound RPG. You know, that game is excellently balanced. You know, Dark Souls, I never got that impression out of Dark Souls. Like, you can vastly outlevel things in Dark Souls to the point that you can trivialize content, and I've done that in a couple of their games. And it's so, that to me is like, it kind of like, it ruins the whole, oh, Dark Souls is really hard element of the games, because like everybody was like, I remember when Demon Souls came out and everybody was like screaming about how fucking hard the game was. And I'm literally like, bro, I went and did some farming because I was trying to get a specific weapon. And I came out of it like, I just like wrecked the rest of the game. It was like a joke. I didn't even die on any of the bosses. Like, it was stupid. Like I had over leveled pretty much most of the so when I fought like the what the fuck was it, the giant like bat monster, like beast monster thing on the top of the mage tower in Demon Souls, and the second one comes out, I was like, oh shit, and then I just killed it. It's like, you know, whereas like most of the videos I watch, people are like, oh my fucking god, they're like about to die, you know, they're like losing their mind, you know. I like hadn't even been hit. Like I was just like, okay, cool. And then I killed it in like 5 hits. It was like, well, you know, so that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, Sekiro doesn't have that. Sekiro is like a very tightly balanced game, you know?
Well, that's what I like about Bloodborne and Sekiro. So I already had my dismays with Bloodborne. I think the reason why I didn't like Bloodborne as much as I did, because I'm not really too interested in the world. Like, it's cool. I think that's just what it is. I love Bloodborne's combat though. It's fucking dope as shit.
But I like it for the combat, not the world.
Yeah, I think the thing about Bloodborne that I respect and Sekiro that I respect is those are unapologetically action games. There are barely any fucking RPG elements in Bloodborne, and I'll say it, there are none in Sekiro. Sekiro's a pure action.
Sekiro's not an RPG.
Sekiro's a pure action game. Yeah. The problem I have with Dark Souls and Demon Souls games, they don't know if they want to be an ARPG or action. They don't know what they want to be. It's like a shitty action game. It's like a shitty RPG game, but it's still fun in a sense. If that makes any sense.
They meld together to make a good game. You know,
yeah, but they're still shitty in both their respects. Now, I'll probably gonna get a lot of slack for that shit, and I'll never say this shit on Twitter because I'll fucking get destroyed. But Demon Souls and Dark Souls are shitty action / RPG games. They're just they're 50% on one game and 50% on one in another game, and
they're greater than the sum of their parts. Like
dude, it's crazy that y'all say this because from my perspective, a non-Demon Souls born whatever type person fan, when I was looking at the trailer, I was freaking out. Like, damn, y'all get this? Like, like this is an extra RPG. Like, I thought it was going to be just another Demon Souls style game, but bigger, right? From when the trailer started playing and looking at how fluid the combat is, and then seeing the magic use and all that stuff, I'm like, oh, this is an ARPG. This is dope. And
it is.
And when they start explaining the world and like how you got these big ass dungeons in this big ass open world, like I'm not a fan of the open world, but when they start to get to the crux of it and start explaining dungeons and how it's made it more like this, I'm like, bro, like this is exactly what Zelda should have been. Like they are giving me Zelda. Yeah. Yes, thank you. This is what I wanted. This and with the superpowers, I'm like, oh yeah, yep, you sold me. I got magic. Oh yeah.
That's why I'm interested in the game. That's why I'm interested in the game for sure. But this is my issue: is like when you look at Demon Souls, which is the first game they made of this type. That was kind of it's not open world, but you make the choice of where you go. At the beginning of the game, like after you get through the first area and you get to the chapel or whatever, the cathedral, whatever the fuck it's called, I forget, but you get to pick which of the 5 levels you go to, you know. And I went out of order. I did like the 5th one first or the 4th one first, which is actually like one of the higher level ones. And then I went backwards and did the other ones, and I like the other ones were under-leveled for me at that point. I had over-leveled the content, you know, basically. But this is my thing with Elden Ring is I don't trust them to balance the world properly. I have a feeling a lot of players are going to play this game and they're going to have an experience like there's going to be this disparate like kind of argument about how difficult this game is, because I think some players are going to go to areas where they over-level. And then they come back and they do other areas of the map, and it's like super easy. It's like stupidly easy. Like open world games can have that problem, like RPG open world games. That is a common issue with them. So I don't know if FromSoft's going to get that right. We'll see.
Well, like I think if you can learn from what Breath of the Wild did, and they just Outriders did it this year as well. It was just world leveling. Like Zelda, all the enemies are weak until you beat your first dungeon, and that's when everybody in the game world levels up one. And that's when you start to get different color tiers of like the different enemies. And Outer Wilds is the same thing. It's like even when you was to group up with people, it works like an MMO where it just levels you down. And so you can do something like that, especially since it's a single player game, and when you multiplayer, they can just level you down to the lowest level person. I mean, that's the best way that I can think of that could work, because if you just set out different enemy encampments at different levels, like you're going to run into that problem that you just described, Justin. But
right.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry, I cut you off, Montrell.
No, you all good. No, it's a podcast. You're talking. But like my whole problem with the game is I didn't see anything new.
Yeah.
And I
guess
know
you got
the
horse, right? That's new.
I mean,
it was already in Dark Souls games.
You said what?
Like magic and all that stuff is already in Dark Souls games.
Yeah, you can do a magic build. You can do a magic. I mean, they added some like like one of the ones where you can make the little shadow clones. Like that's kind of new, but everything else was like I've already seen this. You can be a pyromancy person in Dark Souls or Demon Souls. You can be a magic person. You can do all that stuff in Dark Souls. You can be a dual wielding like character, whatever. You can do all that stuff. That's the thing when I'm saying like I didn't see anything new. When I played Bloodborne, that was like a legitimate new game, right? That was like I'm like, oh shit, I got a fucking gun and a big ass switchblade axe thingamajiggy. What the fuck? Like I'm a fucking vampire hunter or some shit like that. Yeah, and I'm playing Sekiro.
Castlevania.
Yeah, I'm in Castlevania. like if I'm playing Sekiro, I'm a fucking ninja / samurai guy with a fucking grapple hook, and I'm doing shit, and I'm deflecting attacks and everything. With this game, it's like, oh, I'm back to being the undead again. Cool. With the same attack animations.
You can
cool.
jump 2 feet in the air.
Yeah, I can jump 2 feet in the air. Cool. With the same fucking shitty ass parry animations and parry windows. Okay, cool. But like, and that's the thing, like, that's the only thing that irritates me about the Dark Souls fandom. And even I was a victim of this. I like the game so much that I did not, at the time, I did not want them to improve the game. But now, like, that I'm like, I haven't played Dark Souls in like fucking since Dark Souls 3. And I do have Demon Souls. I just never fired it up because I'm like, I already beat the original. Why the fuck can I play the other game again? I should go back and play it though. It's just more of the same. They didn't improve like all that stuff that we saw that we were like, oh, it takes skill. I honestly don't think it's skill. I think it's just a really bad engine and like bad frame rate,
dude. It's an RPG. Like any RPG, skill is like it's like 20% of the 20% of the pie. Like the other 80% is the actual statistics. Like, that's true. That's true in any RPG. Like,
but the statistics only go so far as like, in my opinion, like stuff like action elements like dodging and parrying. Right. I know there are different parry windows for different shields and daggers in the game. I just feel like it's really shitty though. I feel like they just never took the time because the frame rate, if you play Dark Souls, this is how shitty it is. If you play Dark Souls on console, right, the frame rate for the parry window is different than it is on PC because the PC's running at 60 frames. That's shitty. That's shitty design.
Yeah,
that's shitty.
That is.
Yeah. So like, and we just accept it because like, oh, you know, it's from software. They're fucking perfect. And it's like, it's not like if I play Sekiro on PC and I play Sekiro on console, the frame rate doesn't fucking matter. It's my skill because the parry system is just so fucking.
Well, they almost exposed themselves with Sekiro, dude. Like that's what's so funny about the game. It's so good that it's like it kind of makes their other games look bad by comparison. You know, that's kind of where I come down on it at this point, but. I don't know. I got to play Dark Souls 3 at some point, I think. Like everybody loves that game. And I have played it. I played like 20 hours of it. It just didn't.
Well,
really
I'll say this.
But
the reason why a lot of people love it is because Dark Souls 2 was so fucking terrible.
Yeah, right.
So
True. All right, we got to move on. We've been talking about Elden Ring for a while. So next game is mine. I'm the only one that has it, is Project Triangle Strategy. This is a Square Enix joint. It is a tactical turn-based RPG. I'm gonna play it. I am a nerd. Shut up. I'm excited about it because we don't get very many of these games, especially from the big boys like Square Enix. So the fact that they're making one and they are kind of pushing it in the same way they pushed like Octopath Traveler, I'm excited about this game in that sense. However, what I played of the demo last year, I was definitely. There's a lot to be desired there. Like it was not up to par from what I played of it. I was a little disappointed in what I played of it. So we'll see. I'm going to play it because I'm a strategy RPG junkie and I love these games, but I will be very honest about my opinion on it. So,
but I heard from that development team, they took those opinions from the demo and the early access like very seriously and made, because I believe they made another trailer talking about all the changes they made.
There was a live stream a few months ago, actually, but it was in Japanese, so I didn't get much out of it, and I never saw like an English version. So, but it did look a little different. Like it looked like they had done some stuff, but it was hard. It was hard for me to parse, to be honest. So I'm just gonna wait for the game to come out and kind of judge it at that point. There's certain things they can't change though that are really gonna hurt the game. Like the main character's voice acting was absolutely dreadfully bad, like and it sounds like they haven't changed the actor, so oh man, like yeah, it's gonna be a meme in that regard, so we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. Well, yeah, let's move on to the next game, which is that game.
It is.
Yes, it is.
When you think of Square, I just have one thing about Project Triangle Strategy. They might turn that game to NFT.
Oh my god. Oh, please don't. So yeah, next game is Chaos, Stranger in Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, which is made by Team Ninja, my boys, my Neo team. We all
Dead or
have it on our
Alive?
list though, which tells me that as much as this game is probably going to be a meme, there will be a very good video game underneath this, and
Bro.
underneath that meme. I'm excited about this game.
So I wasn't really too sold on it, right? I was like, oh, the Final Fantasy elements are cool. Then they released that combat video, and I was like, oh, you got me. Oh shit,
Yeah,
you got me. Like, you fucking got me, bro. I was like, I almost wanted to pre-order this shit. I stopped myself, but I almost wanted to pre-order this shit because that combat video was fucking good as shit. I was like, oh wow, and it has the jobs included with it. Oh,
yep. Well,
man.
and you can swap the jobs on the fly too. The way you can swap stances in Neo.
So I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, dude. No, dude. This is what I'm this is what I was trying to say when the original trailer came out and everybody was memeing on this game, like, oh, this game's gonna be all. No, shut the fuck up, okay? Yeah, the voice acting is bad. The story's probably gonna be terrible, but like, I don't give a shit, okay? Neo's story wasn't good either. Who cares? It's like one of my favorite games I've ever played. Like, Neo 1 and Neo 2 are amazing action games, like straight up. Like,
okay, but in everyone's defense, they didn't. The main character didn't walk out and say bullshit.
Start playing Limp Bizkit or whatever. I know. It's going to be funny. It's going to be funny. It's probably going to be really funny. But you know what? That might enhance the joy I get out of it, though. To be honest, like, I don't expect a good story out of this game. I never did. From the jump. So if I can get a few laughs along the way while I'm doing badass combos and just murdering shit as a white mage or whatever the fuck, like, I'm all for it, man. I'm into this.
DJ, I suggest you go on their Twitter account. It's only like a minute long, and they show their combos.
Oh yeah, I seen it. Oh,
you seen it? Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
man.
yeah.
That shit looks fucking dope, bro.
Because when they first announced this game, I'm just excited when they do Final Fantasy games that's not turn-based and mainly the action variety, right? That's why I love 13 so much, because they got close to it. I always felt like 13 was the start of that. And then we got 15, which Montrell doesn't like, which is understandable, but I love 15 because it was an action Final Fantasy game. I like Final Fantasy because they are telling fantasy stories that I can enjoy. And then if you can give me good action combat behind it that's not turn-based, like that's a plus, right? Because now I'm getting what Montrell always complain about, an anime game, because that's to me, that's what Final Fantasy is an anime game. And I go into Final Fantasy enjoying this anime story, and then I know with Final Fantasy it comes with these stipulations, but to me, I don't care. I look at every Final Fantasy game as 13 is a different number than 15, and so if they want to change the game, they can do whatever the fuck they want to, as long as the combat is good, fun and the story is anime enough for me to enjoy, or like entertaining anime, not like super bad cheesy anime. And this game looks like it's going to be
the cheesy
boys, like the cheesy one, but like good cheesy, like that enjoyable cheesy. Like, yeah,
I will say this though. I think 16 is going to be more controversial than 15.
Dude, 16 is going to be DMC. 16 is going to be exactly what the fuck I've been waiting for. 16 is going to be my Final Fantasy game. 16
is going to be good.
Give me, if you can give me.
Wait, we didn't put that on our list.
If the combat is close enough to Devil May Cry, it doesn't have to be Devil May Cry, but if it's close enough.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, though. This is what I'm saying. For the Final Fantasy community, I think this game is going to be the one that like breaks a lot of Final Fantasy, like old school Final Fantasy fans, because we still have those Final Fantasy fans, right? That just want turn based. They're like, go back to fucking turn based, right?
They still Final Fantasy 7 remakes. You could play turn based on that.
And I think this is one of those games that's going to be super controversial. I think it was already there with Final Fantasy 7 Remake, but Remake was just so good that they really couldn't. If you bitched about it, then you were just clearly.
You could literally play turn based on that game.
Yeah, if you bitched about that game, you were clearly just like being a hater. I think 16 being an action game, like almost damn near Kingdom Hearts mixed with Devil May Cry. Like we don't even know the gameplay elements of it, right? But we just saw the gameplay elements, so it's like I think it's going to be really controversial going forward. But yeah, that's all I got.
Well, the only thing I'm worried about with this game versus 16 is that I think this game's combat is probably going to outshine 16's, because like Square, you know, if they wanted an action game, they knew what they were doing going to Team Ninja, you know. But that's the problem, is that Team Ninja is like, they're one of the best action combat studios out there, you know. So whatever they're doing internally, it's probably not going to match up. So they're really going to need to make up for it in other areas like story and other game systems and things like that. So, which I'm sure they will. I mean, Yoshi P's the director of it, so I have a lot of faith in that game. I'm really excited for 16. But yeah.
I mean, they made Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3. I mean, those are really good action games. Well, okay, later
post after they did their after they did their revisions, their patches, their DLC packs. They've Square Enix's prime studios, like primary dev teams, have never done the best job with action combat. Like there's always something weird about it, and then they either fix it later or they don't fix it. And
that is true. I will give you that.
Now you really killing my hope for it now.
No. I think 16 is going to be really good. So this is a disclaimer, right? I will say this. When I was playing the Royal Edition of Final Fantasy 15, I was actually enjoying myself. Like it's okay game, right? I just still hate the game. I still hate the game. Don't get it wrong.
Can I play it again?
But I respect the changes that they made to that game compared to when I first. Now you gotta think, DJ. I haven't played Final Fantasy 15 since the game came out, right? Yeah. So when I got the Royal Edition, I was thoroughly surprised at all the changes they made, because there was a lot of stuff that I was complaining about. Now, as far as the open world still seems really empty and stuff like that. The story's kind of jumbled here and there, but I only played like 15 hours of it though. But I was actually enjoying the combat of it, because they fixed a lot of the combat beats that I had with the first part of the when the game first released. So like you said, Justin, like they definitely know when there's an issue with their combat and they go back and fix it. I mean, Kingdom Hearts is obviously evidence of that, and obviously Final Fantasy 15 is the evidence of that as well. Even Final Fantasy 13 too, which is like vastly superior than 13 in every way. They fixed the combat in that game with the paradigm system. I think though, with Yoshi P at the helm, I don't think they're gonna need I mean, of course they're gonna probably do like a Final Fantasy 16 plus or whatever the fuck, like 2 years of the game release. Yeah, after the game releases or whatever, and they're gonna make gameplay changes to it.
Super Max 4K,
exactly.
4.5K
with the built-in NFT, or whatever.
NFT edition.
Box is an NFT.
The box is an NFT. You buy the digital version. You get
one thing I do respect about. One thing I do respect about Square is they will go back and fix their shit even when people are telling them their shit's perfect.
Well, and Yoshi P.
You ever played multiplayer of Final Fantasy 15?
No.
Shit's pretty fun, man.
I heard it's actually pretty fun. But the thing is, Yoshi P, we can trust him. Okay, like he fixed Final Fantasy 14, dude. Like,
and Yoshi P, we trust, bro.
Yeah, he fixed Final Fantasy 14, which if you play the original version of it, that is not a small feat. He fixed that game, and look where it is now. It's got 4 expansions. It's one of the most popular MMOs on the planet. Everybody fucking loves it. Like,
it's so popular that they stopped downloads
they
of the game.
Selling it for a week or for a few days, like, so I think we can trust him with Final Fantasy 16. I don't think he's gonna release a shitty game. And so that includes the combat. I think the combat will be good. It might not be as good as Stranger in Paradise, but it'll probably still be pretty damn good. So,
well, Square does it in Stranger in Paradise. I think they, like you said, did a really good job at getting the team, because Square Enix is not Square Enix is one of those teams that would easily take someone off the project. I mean, you remember what they did to fucking CyberConnect? Yeah, they took them off the project for Final Fantasy VII Remake. So,
and they made a good action game there. So
they did.
They can do it.
Yeah, but my point is, like, if we were going to get a shitty action game, they would have been, took someone off of this game, or either canceled it or taken someone else off and put someone else on it. So the simple fact that this game is seen all the way through the production, I got faith in it. I mean, I talk a lot of shit about Square, but they do have quality assurance in their company.
Yep. All right, fair enough. Let's move on. Next game is mine. Is Rune Factory 5 on March 22nd. I don't have much to say about this game beyond the fact that it basically looks like a fantasy Stardew Valley, and I don't know why, but I'm getting a weird itch for that. I don't know if I'm actually going to play this game, but I kind of need something different. I'm looking for something different right now. This game might be it. So,
did you play Rune Factory 4?
What? Say
no,
that
I
again?
don't.
Did you play Rune Factory 4?
No, I've never played Rune Factory.
Okay, it's I had it on my Switch I got it for $20. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, I figured I'd just start with the newest one, So, all right. Next game is Deejay's. It is Tunic, coming out on March 26th.
Yes, sir. Montrell, you may like this game.
It's called what?
This game, Tunic. It's this game about this small little fox in a green tunic. And it's isometric, and it's like this dope little indie darling looking 3D
that one looks
game.
like Zelda.
Yeah. Dude, they had the beta, or like early access small beta for it on Game Pass not too long ago, and I believe this game is releasing on Game Pass when it drops. So there's that. March 16th. I want to say it is on Game Pass. But yeah, like it's been around. Like I've been keeping up with it for like the past years or so. Right before the pandemic started, I believe it was supposed to be releasing last year, but of course the pandemic made it get delayed. Yeah. But yeah, it's this dope little indie game, isometric, top down. It's basically Legend of Zelda, but if it was isometric. Or the what's the ones that people like on the Super Nintendo? The one it just got a re-release not too long ago. Link's Awakening, not Link's whatever. Awakening, yeah. Not Link's the Awakening, one, yeah. Not the Game Boy one. The other ones. It got the 3DS sequel. Link to the Past.
Okay. Link Between Worlds.
Link Between Worlds, yeah. So it's basically that Zelda, y'all. But like, if the camera was not like above, it was isometric and it's 3D, and like, and the graphics looks dope. It's like this nice little stylistic, but not like the stylistic approach that we normally see people take. It's just like this. I don't know if you see it. It's soft. It's cute. It's bubbly. It's what I imagine a high quality fucking Super Nintendo game to look like in this day and age. Yeah. So yeah, if you like those type of games, I recommend it.
All right, fair enough. Next game is also a Nintendo game, Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. It's coming out on April 8th.
Yes.
Montrell, go ahead.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of like I don't know, these tactical games, because I remember I was playing Fire Emblem on my GBA, and I went and picked up Advance Wars, and I fucking love Advance Wars. I played 1, I didn't play 2. So I'm looking forward to playing both of those. And I loved Advance Wars so much that they made a spin-off game called Battalion Wars that was on the GameCube, which was like a real-time action, or a real-time shooter, but it was also a strategy game as well. So you can take control of the soldier and play third-person shooting games, like a third-person shooter, but then you could also command the squad with you, or like the tanks with you, or anything, and it was really fucking cool. So, but that just made my heart love Advance Wars, because it was a spinoff of that series. So, there's nothing really too much to say about it. I just love these type of games. And there was a indie made sort of a spiritual successor to this game. I forgot what the fuck it was called. You played it, didn't you, Justin?
Oh yeah, it was what was that game called? That game was really fun, actually.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my god, dude. I'm losing it.
It's called War something.
Fuck that. Wargroove.
Yeah,
Wargroove.
Wargroove.
That's the one. Yeah, that was. Yeah, it was like a fantasy version of Advance Wars.
Yeah. So if you guys like the Advance Wars, I do recommend. It's an indie developer. They made Wargroove. It's on the Switch. It's a really good game, and they actually have some expansions out for it as well.
Yep,
so you
they do.
get a lot of gameplay for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. A full 3D remake of it. It's gonna be fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait.
I'm glad that you're getting something that you want, a game that you want. You know, I get happy for people and fandoms when they get the product that they was looking for. So I'm happy for you, even though I'm not going to enjoy it. But I'm happy that you're getting something you want.
I've never played Advance Wars, and with how much I like Wargroove, I feel almost obligated to buy this and play it. So I will be checking this out as well, probably. And I'm also looking forward to it. All right, next game is Montrell's. It is Stalker 2 on April 28th.
Yeah, so I like fucking survival horror games and shit like that. And I played the first Stalker when I first built my PC, or when I got my first gaming laptop in like 2010 or whatever that can handle shit like this. I wasn't just gaming off my mom or my grandma's fucking home PC anymore. And I got Stalker on Steam. I played the fuck out of Stalker, and that shit scared the fuck out of me. So I love it because it was a cult classic. It reminded me of this other game called Fear. I don't know if you guys remember that game that came out on PC.
Yes, Fear was. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
G4 TV.
And so I like that. I like those type of games as a first person shooter. This one's more a first person apocalyptic shooter. It takes place in Chernobyl in Russia, dealing with fucking crazy ass shit. I don't know what else to say, man. I think everyone, or not everyone, but I think.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this a first person shooter as well?
Yeah, it's a first person shooter.
Oh, is it? Didn't they shoot us like at the Game Awards or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think they did.
Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's darker. That's damn. That's pretty fucking dope. Because that game looks good as shit. Because I remember the first one, that shit did not look that good. But golly, yeah, you know what, man? I'm happy for you.
Yeah, the first one did not age too well. But if you played it at the time when it came out, it was fucking groundbreaking as far as like atmosphere and shit. But yeah, this one right here is it looks really fucking good. I can't wait for it.
All right, fair enough. All right, let's move on. Next game, Montrell and Deejay, you both have this game, is Forspoken on May 24th.
Yo, I don't know why you don't got this on your list. Like, what?
I'll talking about
you're talking about another female protagonist because, excuse me, guys, I like playing with females.
Mm-hmm.
When I create video games, like the character, I always create a female. It's never somebody I know. It's always a random name. Why am I weird for wanting to play as a female? Like, you want me to play for a male?
This is my explanation for it. This is what I always tell people, and I get made fun of for this a lot. Montrell plays female characters too, so he knows. Our friends make fun of us too, though, and I'm always like I am a dude. Like, I live my life as a guy. Why do I want to play a guy in a video game? Like, I have that perspective already. Like, it makes no sense.
Every video game comes out, it's a male character. So why would I want to play this other game that gives me the option to choose as a male? Like, I'm going to play that the next game, so I'm going to create me a fucking female. I have fun.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And this is a dope female character with magic. She got isekai'd into a world, knowingly isekai'd. Mm-hmm. With magic powers, like fuck yes, let's go. And the magic looks dope. The movement looks, the whole locomotion system looks like fucking goated. Yeah. And like I can't wait for this game. This game about to be cold. It's an exciting one. This is an exciting year for games.
Yeah, I pretty much went dark. I pretty much went dark on this game, but it looks like I always wanted like a spellcaster combo type game. Like, I love fighting with swords and even my fist. But there aren't too many like spellcaster games where you can like juggle combos with spells and shit like that. Because I've seen certain games do it, but like not a lot of games do it. And this game looks like the first game that has that kind of combat in it. I just want to be a fucking powerful ass mage or some shit, bro. Like, there hasn't been many games where I can play as a powerful ass mage outside of like an RPG. And I'm
not say Dragon Age.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's still an RPG, right? So you're not being you're not really doing too many combos like that. Although I do like the mage gameplay in Dragon Age Inquisition. That shit is fucking fun as fuck. Yeah. But this game looks more so on the action side of things, and I really want that. And not to mention, we got not to be that guy, but we got a black female protagonist. Thank fucking God for the first time, or for the second time, maybe. I don't know. I haven't really seen too many of them out there like that, besides the ones I create in character created games. So
yeah,
I'm glad we have that, and the game looks like it has a decent budget, so it's not going to be cheap, and everything of that nature. So, I'm definitely going to support it.
Yeah. Okay.
I definitely have my dismays towards the game. The world looks kind of bleak and empty, but I mean, whatever.
I judge it in action.
I should put it on my list. The way you guys are convincing me, the way you guys are talking about it, you're right. The trailers I've seen of it, the action looks really good. In the animations, the movement, and everything like that looks really good. Like I think as a game to play, it's going to be really fun. My problem with it, the reason it like kind of fell off my radar, and I'm not thinking about it that much, is like the last couple trailers have really taken me out of this game. Like the dialogue and everything, I'm just kind of like, oh my god, like it's like that. It's just that like quippy fucking bullshit that we get in like fucking Uncharted or Marvel movies. You know, I'm just like,
because they actually hired some Hollywood writers for this game.
I'm so tired of it, man. I'm so tired of it. So I don't know.
That's a different conversation, but I am actually tired of that style of writing. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, Deejay, but like that quippy Marvel style shit, like that shit. Like,
I'm tired of it. That's why I'm happy that the MCU is finally take different like chances in direction. So like with the last 3 movies, he didn't get it as much. Outside of Spider-Man. So Shang-Li and Eternals, you didn't get it as much. It was still there, but it wasn't like, like
it wasn't Iron Man level. Yeah, it wasn't Iron Man
exactly.
level. Yeah.
But
I am getting tired of that. And this game is going to have it, Justin, is because for that same reason they got Hollywood writers to write the game, and so.
And you gotta think too, Justin. This is probably made like 4 or 5 years ago. So, or it's probably in development for about 4 or 5 years.
It was conceived, probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
and the writing for it probably started 3 or 4 years ago. So, which was like the height of Marvel. Endgame was coming out, or fucking Infinity War. I don't remember which one, but so, I understand. I'm just saying that inherently, like, my instinct right now for things like that is to just kind of block it out and like
gotcha. I understand.
So you guys are right. I probably should play this game, and it is coming out actually far enough removed enough from everything else we have on our list here so far that
it's like Square Enix look at the release calendar.
So
that's it.
Yeah.
But I think it's exactly what Montrell said combat wise. Like that's really my main draws for the game.
Right.
Because I'm a magic person. Every game I play as like a mage.
See, I'm not. That's the funny part. I'm not. I never play a mage. I either play an archer or like a rogue type, like assassin type generally.
I like the hills and magic, so I'm going to play a mage. And so it's dope to see a action mage combat game. Like, so I gotta try it out. And it looks good too. So that's the main reason. Like, they sold me on that mage experience.
It's just weird that it took so long to make a game. You know what? The last game that did this was Infamous. Yep, the last game that did this was Infamous.
Oh yeah, I never played.
We haven't got anything.
If you never played Infamous, you should play Infamous
Second Son.
The Second Son, that's the newest one. Yeah,
that's the newest one, right?
Yeah, play that one because you don't need 1 or 2. Because that one gets you what the gist of what the 2 is without playing those 2. And plus, you can play the DLC, which is like Fast Light or something like that. And
Fast Light, yeah.
That's all you need to play. Dope ass mage games.
Fair enough. All right, let's move on. We got a lot more to get through. So next game, the last game we have a date for is Starfield. DJ has this as November 1st. Montrell and I do not have it, but we'll certainly discuss. So, DJ, what about Starfield are you excited about?
Nothing at all.
Like honestly, like
I'm glad you admit that. Okay.
I don't know anything about the game, but it's in space.
Nobody does.
Like,
Nobody
oh
does.
snap, space, and it's coming out this year, and it's far enough that it's coming out from later in the year. But yeah, like mainly that Bethesda is making a Bethesda style space RPG. You sold me because I'm not a big fan of most of Bethesda games. Like I got Elder Scrolls. I have Elder Scrolls on PS3 and PC. And PC, I got like 2 hours into it. I can tell you the part. I just beat the dragon. I beat the first dragon, and then I was going on
you got the Fruit Rust done?
I got the Fruits of Dot. So I got that, and I beat the dragon because you had to learn. You know that was the tutorial, right? And then they made me go on the other side of the mountain, like on the other side of the map. I'm like, bro, I'm not about to walk all the way over here. So I tried to climb the mountain, and then I got stuck on the mountain coming down. And I couldn't move going up or down, and I just gave up right there. I was like, I'm done. I'm not playing this game. Fallout 4 was basically the same thing. It's just I got bored while playing it. I only put like 4 hours or so. I got bored.
That game is boring.
And so I know Bethesda games are supposed to be good, especially from when people tell me about stories about Bethesda games. Like what people, especially when I hear about Fallout 3, what people used to say. I get that from Cyberpunk, and I'm looking to get that from this because I want that Bethesda experience, and this is giving me something that I like, which is space. And so, if you can give me a dope space RPG and you give me that so-called Bethesda experience, I'm so. It's not like that I'm excited for it. I'm looking for a space RPG game. You know,
I totally
you're gonna be disappointed. I
don't think he's gonna be disappointed. The problem that you're experiencing right now, DJ, or the problem that's going on is, a lot of people will say, if you ask anybody in the Fallout community or whatever that came before Fallout 4, because there are a lot of new Fallout 4 fanboys. But if you ask everybody, like, what's the best one story wise, either they're going to say Fallout 1,
New Vegas,
or they're going to say New Vegas. And unfortunately, the team that wrote New Vegas is Obsidian, and they have nothing to do with this game.
And Fallout 1 is a studio that doesn't exist anymore, which actually is made up of people who work at Obsidian now, probably.
Yeah. So. And then in Fallout 3, while the story was good, it was decent, it barely made the cut. I'll say that. But it was a decent story. But then Fallout 4, they actually butchered the Fallout universe in Fallout 3, if you want to be honest with me. Because they made, Brotherhood of Steel. They turned them into like good guys when Brotherhood of Steel wasn't like that. They're just like, yo, we preserving technology. We don't go fuck about anybody else. But in Fallout 3, they kind of changed what the Brotherhood of Steel was. And then in New Vegas, they had to rewrite what the Brotherhood of Steel was. And then in Fallout 4, it was just crazy. Anyway, so Starfield, the only reason I'm very hesitant on Starfield is because, first of all, I haven't seen any gameplay of it at all. Bethesda, like you said, or I don't know if you said it before, but we were talking off mic or whatever. And you're talking about how buggy, Fallout is, and because we were talking about Cyberpunk compared to Fallout and everything. And you are 100% right. New fucking Elder Scrolls and Fallout both had issues with bugs, and Bethesda and Starfield, I don't think they're gonna.
And Fallout 76.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot about that shit.
And Elder Scrolls Online as well. I forgot about that.
Well, Elder Scrolls Online was actually well received.
So that's made by a different team anyway,
Oh, you're right. But at launch, they had some issues at launch. Yeah. But
they did. If we're talking about Bethesda Game Studios, Elder Scrolls Online is not theirs. So
that's not their game.
So my point of view on this is like Bethesda. This is why I'm saying you're going to be disappointed, DJ. Is that they have significantly shied away from RPG mechanics the further away we've gotten from Fallout 3.
Yes.
Their games at this point are starting to straddle that line of barely being an RPG to me. Fallout 4 was like they took out so much of what made Fallout.
Oh my god.
And it's like to the point that it was unrecognizable to me as somebody who played the original two games. And I was just like, this is I played 20 hours of it and I just put it down. I'm like, this sucks. This game sucks. Like, it's just not fun. And Skyrim's the same thing. Like, if you play Skyrim versus the old like Morrowind and the old even Oblivion, like they streamlined the leveling and the kind of skill system in that game. And I think it's gonna be even more so in this game, like even further down that path. And the other problem I have with this game is that, like you said, there's nothing to be excited about because they've shown us nothing. They haven't shown us the game yet. And that point right there is my biggest thing with this game, is that it is a huge red flag that we're like 10 months out from the game coming out and we haven't seen the game. Like that to me is a huge red flag. Like maybe they are super confident and they're like, oh, we don't need to show the fucking game. Like, this game is going to be so fucking good. But to me, no, the answer to that is no. That's not the truth. The truth is that they are not excited about the game. Like the game probably has a lot of issues and they don't want to put it on stage and reveal that unless we're like 4 or 5 months away from launch. Like, they're going to show this game at E3 probably.
Well, you know what I think the big issue is? I think the big issue is Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds came out and they're like, holy fuck. They just did what we did.
Right. Yeah, they got their thunder was taken already, and that game came out 2 years ago, you know?
Yep.
Like, so I mean, I don't know. I'm cynical when it comes to Bethesda. I've never thought they're that good of a game developer. I think they've always been overhyped, but and people have always looked past the bugginess of their games. This goes back to Fallout 3, dude, like 15 years ago. But they've been called out on it more recently. I think Fallout 4 really exposed them in a bad way, and then Fallout 76 did even more damage to them. And so there's a lot riding on this game, to be honest. Like, Starfield's kind of an important game for Bethesda, to me. So we'll see.
Yeah, I really just need to for them to go back to their RPG roots. Like he said, Fallout 4 was such a departure from all the other games. I still think Skyrim has a lot of RPG elements into it.
Yeah, it does.
But Fallout 4, it just, bro, it barely had any, like, even your dialogue choices. Like, there's so much power in a silent protagonist, bro. There's so much power in that. And they took that away from us when they gave us that voice protagonist with 4 options to choose from. It was so Mass Effect-y. I was like, bro, like, are y'all trying to make Mass Effect and Fallout? Like, come on, man. Like,
but it wasn't good either. Remember how many issues there were where the dialogue options would say one thing and you'd click on one and it wouldn't say anything related to what you picked. Like,
yeah, you're like, it's
weird shit like that, man.
The options would be like, is the sky blue or red? The sky is blue. The sky is red. You'll pick option, the sky is blue. He'll be like, huh? It's like there are a lot of clouds in the sky today. What? Bitch, I didn't say that. I said the
sky. I didn't say that. Like, what are you talking about? Like, the game was littered with shit like that. So I don't know. I mean, they have been working on this game for a long time, though, admittedly. So maybe they are taking it to the point that they're like really trying to get this right.
I don't. It would take a lot for me to have faith in that because Fallout 4 was so well received. It's kind of one of those things where we're going to get into it later. Like, I hope Breath of the Wild, which Zelda teams really do, they have to look into themselves. They can't really count on outside criticism to like, oh, where are the problems? And everybody's like, no, the game's fucking perfect. There is no problems. And I'm like, fuck, all right. So we gotta look within ourselves to see what the problems is. Yeah. And I hope Bethesda can do that. I don't have faith in that they can do it. Rarely Western studios have faith in it. I mean, Horizon Forbidden West kind of proved that Western studios can look within themselves and say, here's our problems. This is what we need to work on. But I don't know. That's all I got. I don't know.
All right, fair enough. DJ, got any last words you want to say about this before we can move
on? Yeah, no last words. Just, I mean, honestly, I do agree with everything that y'all said. Like, that is 100% true. It's just, I'm excited.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you can be, man.
But y'all, man, like, I have all those questions. I have all those questions. But mainly, like, whether the game is bad or not, like, I'm gonna buy it because it's a type of game that I like, and this is how I feel about any games. And so, anybody who may be listening to this, whether
you think the game is going to be good or bad, it doesn't matter, because if you want to play that genre game, buy it day one, buy it the release week, because that's really the
Oh,
majority of the stuff that, I'm sorry, that really
for
it matters
sure.
to the game. And so
Yeah.
if that's what I'm saying, don't listen to other people's opinions. If you be the judge yourself, like, it's okay to do reviews and things of that nature, but like
Mhm.
still, like, if you want to play that game, because a bad game to somebody can be a good game to somebody, and vice
True.
versa.
Absolutely.
And so, as much as people hate Cyberpunk, I love Cyberpunk. And if I didn't listen to if I would have listened to people talk about not buying the game because the bugs and all that stuff and all the problems I had, like, I wouldn't have had the experience that I did. And I wouldn't have found a game that I genuinely like. So
Yep.
that's what I'm saying. Like, everything that you're saying about this game is 100% true, because that's how I feel about Bethesda. Like, I 100% agree with y'all. But like, I really like the space genre. I love games that revolve around space and the solar system and just the universe in general. And then if I can get a Bethesda RPG like that, that's dope. Whether the game's good or bad, like, they got my money day one, because just like Horizon Forbidden West, I'm a bow and arrow simp. I'm gonna buy it day one regardless, because that's what I like. And so that's why I say, whether you like the game or not, whether it's good or bad, if that's the type of game you like, put your money behind it, because you don't know, that can help that studio make that next game better. And that can also influence the market. That's exactly how we got Metroid. Y'all influenced the market by saying y'all like Metroidvanias, and then the director was like, "Hey, Nintendo, these guys want this. Let's bring it back Metroid." And they finally bit. And this is years after he was trying to make Dread. They finally bit because the market showed that y'all wanted Metroidvania games. And then we got Super Metroid Remake, and we got Metroid Dread because of it. So buy games that you like, genres that you like, because that influences the market and that gets you the games that you really want.
All right.
Damn, that sounds cheesy. I'm sorry.
Hey man, you gotta say what you want, right? This is a conversational podcast. We're talking. All right, let's keep going though. We still got a lot of games to get through. So the rest of these games don't have dates. We don't know exact release dates, so we don't even have release. We have a release window of 2022 for all these games, but we don't know quarters or months or anything like that. So first one, I'm just gonna go through the ones that we have that are we share. So we'll start with God of War Ragnarok, which is tentatively a fall game. So we already talked about this a little bit, but yeah, I guess let's start there. Like, do you guys think it's coming out this year?
No, that's just definitely getting pushed back 100%.
Yeah, I think it's going to summer next year. Just
I say first quarter next year. I think first quarter.
Yeah, they may do that.
I think if it gets delayed, it'll be first quarter.
You're right. That's how I feel.
But I do think this game has a good chance of coming out this year. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier, is that they're using the same engine, they're reusing animations and things like that, which I'm, again, not a negative. That's fine. Plenty of games do that with their sequels. But that means that they're spending less dev time on the front end, kind of building that stuff, meaning that they're spending more time making content for the game. So that means that I realistically do think they can get this game out at the end of the year. But it is a tight turnaround, though. We're talking 3.5 years from God of War 2018, and that is 3.5? No, 4.5. No, 4.5. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, 4.5. No, that's plenty of time. Never mind. Yeah, they can definitely get it out in fall, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still excited for the game. I want it to come out this year. If any delay may happen, they may push it to the holiday season just to push more PS5s.
Yeah.
Or may have some kind of bundled PS5 situation going on, because this is, to me, I think Kratos is like very important to PlayStation. I can definitely see them almost like he's not as big as Master Chief, or he probably is. He is as big as Master Chief, in my opinion. As far as like the PlayStation branding, like people associate Kratos with PlayStation, and I think they will have some kind of bundle with the Ragnarok. I can see that for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited about this game. I love God of War 2018. I think it's one of the best games of the generation, last generation. So I think this game has the potential to be excellent. But the only thing I'm concerned about, honestly, and tell me how you guys feel about this. You both beat the first game, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So their decision to make this the end of this story, the Norse story, instead of making it a trilogy, which normally I would say, great, we don't need more trilogies. However, I don't feel like this game's going to need to be really long to wrap this story up in a satisfying way for me. Because they didn't, the first game is so much setup. There's so much setup for this universe that I find it hard to believe they're going to be able to wrap this up in one more game, because they didn't even introduce us to Thor and Odin in the first game, So they're going to have to play out those two characters' storylines and arcs entirely within this one game. And I don't know. It kind of makes me a little wary. It kind of makes me feel like they almost want to put this to bed, like this story, put it to bed and work on something else. That's kind of the impression I'm getting, which is fine.
Do you think they want to work on something else in general, like a whole different franchise, or they want to work on a different story?
They definitely have another game in development right now. That's not God of War. And yeah, I think that's their A game. I really think that's like their next A game, like their primary focus.
Yeah, I feel like especially when I heard that this was the final story for it, because I was looking for a trilogy. I was like, that makes sense. So if you go to end the story, I think they are about to Metal Gear Solid 2 us. What I mean by that, right? Because and it goes to what you were saying. Like we believe they want to do something else from God of War, right? So what if this game starts off we playing Kratos, and then like Thor or Odin, somebody kills him, right?
Yeah.
Wow, Kratos dead, like
right. Yeah.
Some way through the game, a third through the game, or third way through the game, and then we play as Atreus, but the gameplay is completely different.
Yeah.
Like it's a completely different mechanical game. It may still share some same traits, but like it's not like God of War. Like when you play it, it's going to be hopefully a switch over to like Horizon. I mean, like from God of War to Horizon, not gameplay wise, but like it's a big enough gameplay shift where
you'll be using a bow.
Well, but it's a big enough gameplay shift from God of War where you're not going to think that this is God of War. And so from there, hopefully after this game, we can get Atreus or whoever else we may play as games, and they will play fundamentally different from God of War, but we can have that same so-called great game experience. But yeah, I think we get Metal Gear Solid 2 in this bitch.
Well, I remember because remember at the end of the first game, right? Kratos saw the prophecy of his own death in Jotunheim. So they have that set up if they want to do that, which I think it would be ballsy of them to do, because like Montrell said, Kratos is a very important character, I think, for PlayStation, and eliminating him to the point that he's not in future games is definitely a ballsy move for them, but I could see them doing it.
Oh yeah, and plus at this point, like this is Kratos pass on the baton to Aloy. Like you're the PlayStation character now. Let me die out with my PlayStation 2 generation.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can definitely see them like killing off Kratos. It's just weird because they set up a whole universe where they can continue other games, or maybe that's what they plan on doing.
That doesn't have to be with Kratos, right? Like Deejay could be right. They could just make it. They can make them Atreus games, and the gameplay is totally different, and it's almost like a different genre, maybe even. They could do all sorts of weird shit with it if they went in that direction.
Yeah, that's true.
So, fair enough. We'll have more to say about this game as the year rolls on, as we get closer to it. So, all right, let's move on to the next game, Gotham Knights. So this game got delayed. It was supposed to come out last year, and we don't have a firm release date for it right now, just 2022. Are you guys concerned about this game?
I'm not, because the team that's making this game, they made the original or the origin for Batman Origin. So I mean, great studio, and honestly, I think that's probably one of the best Batman games that they made so far. It is not made by Rocksteady,
Really?
So I trust them with this.
That's not a popular opinion.
Dude, Origin is probably one of the best, like mechanic wise. It is the best one.
I gotta play it.
The story may not be like the best compared to what the other ones gave you, and like the level design and things of that nature. But like when you're talking about like pure gameplay mechanics, it's the best one.
I could
So
see that because I personally feel like the Arkham games got worse as they went on.
yes, and it was
So
like
everyone,
a new take. It's just a new take on it, right? And they
yeah,
unfortunately made something
everyone's,
somewhat better. And then looking what they doing with this one, like I'm proud of it. And like they taking their time. We getting delays, and people always think delays can mean bad things at times, but most of the times, like I look at it as a good thing. If the game is getting delayed, I'd rather the game get delayed and come out with everything's working than you know having a half hardly released game or just a buggy mess of a game.
mhm.
So yeah, I take the delay and hopefully things are good
yeah.
because I trust the developer.
This was the original team that made Arkham Origins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Arkham
Yes.
Origins. What's the
That's the last game they
Studio
released.
Monolith or is this WB
It's WB Montreal. Yeah.
Montreal? Okay.
Yeah.
Because no,
Okay.
Monolith is Shadow Mordor people.
Shadow
Yes,
Mordor.
that's
Yeah,
correct.
those are the same people that made Fear. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the game. I didn't know these are the same people who made Origins. I thoroughly enjoyed Origins to like that. Like DJ said, that was my favorite Batman
Man,
game
that's
because it was
weird.
like,
And they bury the fuck out of that game. They like act like it doesn't exist, dude. Like WB, that's crazy.
I think it's really the fan base because the fan base talks down on it because they
Mhm.
talk down on it being a Batman game, and like I think they really is mainly talking about the story. The story is generic; it's not like the best compared to what the Arkham games has done and has been telling. But like as Montreal
oh, you
stated,
know
and
what? You
as I
know what? I'm
said,
sorry. I'm thinking about Asylum. Asylum's my favorite one.
Asylum,
Yeah,
get out of
Asylum's my favorite
here.
one. Yeah, Asylum's
I
my
mean,
favorite one. I'm
Asylum's
sorry.
great, man.
Yeah,
I love Asylum. But that's
yeah,
because of the
Yeah,
level
Asylum's,
design.
but Origins has the same level of uh like scale. It's not focused on everything. It's like really contained, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
That's why I like, and that's why I like Arkham Asylum rather, because Asylum, like, it was just within the asylum. They weren't trying to focus on an entire fucking city. Like it was really
Yeah.
like that. But
Well,
I
yeah.
don't know.
I'm with you guys on this. I'm excited about this game still. I really liked what we saw of the combat. It seems much heavier and more deliberate compared to the like bouncy house combat of the Arkham games. So I'm looking forward to that different style of combat for sure. And there definitely seemed to be some type of I don't want to say RPG elements. I'm afraid to say that, but there was like damage numbers in the fight in the combat. So
yeah.
there's definitely going to be some sort of like statistical system underlying the rest of
It
the combat.
is. They
So
confirmed it. It's something like how Destiny works, where certain areas have like different levels, and then
okay,
like
yeah,
as you, I guess you're going to be taking over strongholds, but like as you level up, like you can, it's the same way. We experienced games like that before, but yeah, that's where you're going to get.
yeah. Well, it's also co-op too, 2-player co-op. So Montreal, are we still playing this game together?
Oh yeah,
Let's
100%.
go. Let's
Who are y'all
go,
playing with?
baby. It'd just be us, man. I don't think you
No,
can. I think
I'm
it's
talking
single
about
player
like
only.
characters.
Oh, I mean it's Batgirl and Robin, isn't it?
Batgirl, Robin, Red Hood, and Red Robin.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you can
So
only
you
do
got
2 people, but you can
2
pick
people,
between
4
those?
characters. Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Wait, so Robin? No, it's Red Robin, Batgirl,
Is it
Nightwing,
Nightwing?
Red Hood. There we go.
Okay, so there's no
I keep
Robin.
saying Robin. Yeah, no Robin.
Okay.
So it's the 3 Robins that been in the Arkham Batman games, basically.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. All right, well, that'll be a
I
fun
think I'm gonna
game.
play with Batgirl.
Yeah,
I'm
I may
definitely
do
playing
Nightwing.
Red
I kind of
Hood.
want to play. I kind of want to play Batgirl too, but
I'm definitely playing Red Hood. I mean, y'all can take
Nightwing
all
looks
that.
dope too.
all right, let's
I
go.
don't know.
Cool. All right, let's move on. Next game. I actually don't have much to say about this one. I don't know about you guys, but Hogwarts Legacy. Reason being is we've seen nothing of it. Similar to
Same.
Starfield. So
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm just looking forward to it because I just really want a story without Harry Potter. Like, I love the Harry Potter universe, but I'm fucking tired of Harry Potter, bro. It's almost like the Skywalker thing. Like,
yeah,
all right, bro, we got 7 movies, we got 4 books,
8
3
movies.
books, 8
8 movies,
movies,
7 books.
Mhm.
7 books. That's what I got. Okay, so
Yeah.
7 books, 8 movies of Harry Potter, and nothing of the world. But they built the world around him through his eyes, and I just
Mhm.
want to see more of the world. Like, I
Yeah.
love the world of Harry Potter. I just don't really care for Harry anymore. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't. Mhm.
the concept is really what excites me. Getting to run around Hogwarts as a student, like
Yep.
in like an open world game. Like, yeah, okay, sign me up.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
you get
have
to like you get
anything
to like
with.
make your own magic spells and shit like that. That should be fucking dope, man. Like, or maybe I don't know. It just seems fucking dope, bro. It just seems dope to be a fucking wizard and like do shit, son. Like,
Yeah, you're gonna be able to play Quidditch. Like, is there gonna be a Quidditch mini game? I'm in for that. Let's go.
hey man, we asked for a Quidditch mini game, but then we're gonna get Blitzball. So I don't know.
Yeah, let's go. That's all you're gonna play, man. Just play the Quidditch League mini game. You know, the whole game. Hey, man, I'm down. I'm down.
It's
For
gonna
that.
be an RPG Blitzball. You remember that fucking game?
Yeah.
That game was
Oh my
fucking
god.
terrible. Oh my god.
Shit's
I
I
fun.
don't
still
know.
know
I
how to
like
play
it.
that game.
I hope that it's Quidditch inside of there.
I
Like,
would hope so
No,
too.
I would hope so too. I just hope it's really good.
because I don't know anything about Harry Potter besides the names of characters.
Oh, really? Okay. So
Yeah,
you've never
I'm
read the
excited for it.
books?
Never read the books. I want this game to be my introduction, so I'm hopefully it's good, and I'm excited for it because it's Harry Potter, and I know pop culture wise how important Harry Potter is and how dope he is. And people say that if I get into it, I will like it, and I'm sure I would, but I have yet to sit down and watch a movie. But I know I will play this game, and if this game is dope and the story is like as what people um say that Harry Potter is like if it could live up to like that world's legacy or whatever. Like I would definitely get into more Harry Potter stuff, and this could be this can get me into like choosing a house. Like, am I what is it, a Gryffindor and a Ravenhound? Like, is that
Ravenclaw,
right?
Ravenclaw,
Hufflepuff, and
Ravenclaw.
Slytherin. Yeah.
Slytherins, there they go.
Well, isn't that the cool part though? Like, it makes me wonder. Like, are you going to be able to pick your house? Like, are you going to be able to have a different game experience depending on which house you're in? Or
Ooh, that'd be dope.
you know,
You
yeah.
see, my thing is too, like, fuck, what was the name of that movie that really expanded upon Harry Potter's lore?
Magic Beasts
Yes.
Yeah.
And where to find them?
or Fantastic Beasts and where to find them.
Yeah, even though the movie wasn't that good, I just really loved the idea that they were involved in like World War II and all this shit. And
Yeah,
all these,
dude. Yeah, right. Of course. They
Yeah.
have to be. Like, that's the thing about it. That's why the whole concept of the Harry Potter the universe is so genius, because like they like underpin all these important events in human history, you know? Like they're part of all of them probably. They're part of the American Revolution, they're like part of World War II, World War One, like all these big wars, you know? They're involved in some capacity probably. So
Yeah, I just think it's really cool, and like all those mythical beasts that you can find. Like, what if that's like a thing you can do in the game, or in the game or whatever?
Ooh,
So it's
you
like,
dreaming too big.
yeah, I mean, but that's I know, I'm dreaming way too big, but even just exploring Hogwarts is fucking huge. Like that
But dude,
fucking
like, imagine if it's like a Persona game, but like, you know, it's an open world game, you know, like with like an open world action game, you know, it's like, but you have like days, so you can do certain things on certain days. You like pick activities to do and shit. Like,
yeah.
man, it could be really cool, but who knows what they did? I don't know. We'll see. So let's not get our expectations too out of fucking control.
Yeah,
We've seen
yeah,
nothing.
you're
So yeah, but all right, let's move on. Next game I have here is Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. So this one, I brought this game up a few years ago or a couple of years ago. I feel like at this point, I'd seen it randomly, like a trailer for it, and it looked really fun. Looks like a co-op kind of like anime aesthetic Monster Hunter-ish game where you're kind of running around doing missions, but you fight like giant boss monsters with a party of 4. Now, I want to preface this by saying that the game I saw back then is not the game that exists now. This game has clearly undergone a significant change at some point in its development, and that is a big point of disappointment for a lot of people that were excited about this game. Now, what I will say for myself, I'm not sure, like, I'm not sure the change is all bad. Like, it definitely looks different from how it did early on, but I'm still intrigued by this game, and I definitely want to try it out for sure. So what about you guys, or Montrell?
I saw the gameplay for it, and comparing both of them, I mean, they both look good, but the latter definitely looks Genshin Impact-ish.
Yeah.
But it still looks like it has some potential as far as combat wise and everything. I think that was the only big thing with Genshin Impact for me was the combat was okay, but it wasn't as actiony as I like it to be. But it definitely was a step in the right direction. If they were to make a Genshin Impact 2 or something like that, which it probably not. But
yeah, let's not talk about that yet.
Yeah,
It's not even been out 2 years.
But this game looks like it looks like it's gonna be cool. I don't know. I'm not a big Grand Blue Fantasy. Only thing I know of Grand Blue Fantasy is the gotcha games on the phones. That's it.
Yes, that's the origin of this. That's where side games really got big, was their gotcha game on mobile. But DJ, what about you? You have any interest in this game?
Nah, not really. After learning the news that I learned today, I was at first, and then I was like, "Oh, it's not Platinum's not making it." Then I watched the trailer as well, and I was like, "Nah, it's probably something I won't get into." Like this is one of the ones that I will just wait to see what other people's opinions there are about it before I decide to pull the trigger.
All right, fair enough. All right, let's move on to our next game, Breath of the Wild 2. Do we think it's coming out this year?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. It's coming out this year. Summertime, no later than fall. I'm counting for the fall, and it's going to have a Switch edition of it, and I will buy it.
I agree, because we're coming up on 5 years, the 5-year anniversary of the original game's release. So summer/fall would put it at 5.5 years, which is plenty of time for them to make a sequel. So I do think it's coming this year. Montrell, do you think it will make it?
We haven't seen any gameplay, so I don't know yet. Maybe they're holding off on it.
True, a lot of games we talked about today.
Yeah, so I think they might delay it. I think it might get delayed to either. I don't think it's going to delay it to next year. I'm saying maybe Q4 of this year. So,
I'm just really curious what they're going to do with it, man. You know,
I think it's going to be like a Majora's Mask style game where they just reuse the same assets to everything, but just probably just expand on the story. And with this one, it looks like it's going to be an actual sequel. I think it's going to be the same assets, just expanded on the story. The game already looked beautiful, so if they can do what Elder Scrolls is doing,
to make it though, like if that's true.
They could probably be doing what Elder Scrolls is doing, like actually making and giving us what we wanted, what I said I wanted from Elder Scrolls, or Zelda and Elder Scrolls is doing it. Give me those dungeons, like besides shrines, and give me like bigger and better dungeons. Like, don't cheap around with it. Like, you got the stuff there. All we need is content, you know?
Right.
Oh, but yeah, like I'm hella excited for this game. I can't wait.
I am too.
I'm a Breath of the Wild stan.
So the reason I'm really looking forward to this game, and I'll be completely honest with you, even though, as everyone know, I wasn't a big fan of the first one, I think the second one is going to have vast improvements over the first one. Because I think, like I said before, Zelda team is one of those teams that can look back at themselves and reflect on what they did bad without any feedback from other people. Because if they look at the feedback from other people in this game, it's a perfect game. Like, they don't have to improve anything. Just give me more with the same. And I don't think this team, this is one thing I do respect about this team, or the Zelda team in general, along with the Monster Hunter team until Rise. But they have this thing where they can do an inner reflection on themselves and be like, okay. And I really respect developers who can just look at themselves and be like, yes, this is my art, but how can I improve my art for the next project? And I think Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be the project that I want. Because if you look at Ocarina of Time, Jesus Christ, you couldn't tell anybody that game was bad. Actually, matter of fact, you still can't tell it. You still can't tell anybody.
Don't you dare.
I do it all the time. Fuck those people. Majora's Mask is better.
I mean, I don't necessarily disagree, but don't say Ocarina of Time is bad. It's not.
I'm not going to say that. It's not a bad game, but it was. It's not. It's definitely not a bad game. But we wouldn't have gotten, if they hadn't looked inside themselves and reflected, we wouldn't have got Majora's Mask, which is obviously the superior Zelda in every way. But like,
agreed. 100%. Look, that's the love of an Ocarina of Time fanboy.
It's an excellent game. Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time are the two best Zelda games, in my opinion. Link to the Past is an extremely close third. Like, those three are literally grouped together for me, and then it's every other Zelda game after that. Like,
I think take for my number 3 is Wind Waker. I think that was so departure from like.
No, fucking no.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna say that.
I love
it.
I can't stand it.
Number one is number one is Majora's Mask. Number 2, Breath of the Wild. Number 3 is Ocarina of Time.
No,
There you go. I made you happy. I made you happy. Be happy. Be happy with my decisions. You gotta live with
blasphemy. I mean, I would probably take Breath of the Wild over Wind Waker. Oh
my God, are you
I don't
serious?
know. Maybe not. I don't know. I haven't played Wind Waker in a long time. It's probably been 11 or 12 years since I played Wind Waker, but I've played Wind Waker 3 times, and every time I play it, I come away with the same feeling: is that this game just is not that good. Like it's a good game, but not a great game because it loses that Zelda magic of discovery because the game makes it obvious where everything is. You know, with the way the map is broken down.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and the dungeons are super linear in that game as well.
Yeah, and the dungeons are super linear.
Like, hey,
there's only 5 of them.
Here, go over here.
You know? Yeah, right. There's
you
only
got
5
your key
of
item.
them
Go right
anyways,
there.
So
I like Wind Waker because the style was so different. The combat was definitely different. You had counters, and you can take enemies' fucking weapons and shit. They were trying a lot of different shit. And
they were experimenting. But that's my thing. Wind Waker. There's so much revisionist history with Wind Waker because I remember when that game came out, everybody fucking hated Wind Waker. Everybody.
I know.
You all did. You all did. Don't tell me otherwise. I was there.
I actually love Wind Waker.
I was one of the people that liked it when it came out. I'm a sucker for the stylistic arc style.
I definitely was. I definitely saw a lot of people hating on Wind Waker when it first came out, and then Twilight Princess came out, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, this is the best Zelda ever!" And
that's what they wanted. Yeah, they wanted that realistic style Ocarina of Time Zelda, and then it was like, oh, it's not.
We don't want this.
Yeah, we don't want this.
Good. Yeah, but then Nintendo lost their way, and then they made Skyward Sword. So.
We don't talk about Skyward Sword. No, this podcast we don't talk about it.
I mean, we will. I'm playing it, so we will be talking about it.
Still playing it?
Yeah.
You might as well give up on it if you're still playing it. It's not that good. Switch to Majora's Mask.
I haven't played that much of it, admittedly.
But you know anyway, there are Skyward Sword fanboys out there like, yo, it's the best game ever. I'm like, all right, bro.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, sure, Jan. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think Breath of the Wild 2 though is going to vastly improve it. I have faith in the team. I have faith in Nintendo. I think they do that with like Mario and Zelda. They really improve upon their games. I mean, take Galaxy 1 to Galaxy 2, like, whoa, man.
I mean, they actually introduce a new mechanic to their games.
As much as I don't like Odyssey, the mobility improvements in Odyssey are insane. Like how mobile Mario is fucking nuts in that game.
Yeah, so it's like I have faith in the project, and that's why I'm looking forward to like Breath of the Wild 2, because I think Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be such a divisive game because it is going to be a departure from the first game, to where people are gonna be like, what the fuck? Or people are going to be like, hey, I love it. You know, I think it's going to be a good meld of like classic Zelda and Breath of the Wild Zelda. And I can't wait.
Yeah, and going off one thing you did say, Montrell, because you was talking about combat, right? They didn't show any really gameplay. They actually did the same exact thing with the original Breath of the Wild. It wasn't until that Nintendo presser when they actually showed like real gameplay, like and explained what the game was. Or was it the E3?
No,
it was the E3
No, it was
that.
E3. They had an E3 blowout. They didn't have a direct. They just had an E3 blowout at the convention, and they had demos set up for all like tons of media to play the game. And they let you play in the original like starter area. You remember the
and it was supposed to come out in December, and that's when they pushed it back. Like they pushed it back right before the release date. It was close.
Yep.
It was like in August or something like that. It pushed it back right before they announced the Switch.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah,
I think it'll be good. All right, let's move on.
Suicide
Squad, Kill the Justice League. This is the last game we have overlap on. No release date yet, but it should be coming out this year. How you guys feeling about it?
I think we all can say yes and move on. We already know this is gonna be a good game. It's like no talk about. If you're talking about, we got to discuss this game. Like we in the wrong place. That's we hyped up this game.
This is one of the rare few instances where I actually agree. Like, I mean, not agreeing with DJ is rare, but I agree that we don't have to worry about this game because I think they learned a lot. I think the reason why this game was like delayed and like kept secret and everything like that, because they learned a fucking lot from Avengers, and I think they had enough time to fine tune their game. Destiny as well. I think they had enough time to fine tune their game to where we're not gonna get that shit. Like, what was the game you were saying, DJ? Outriders. I think Outriders is a product of looking at Destiny and looking at other games and be like, okay, this is how we not do this shit. Because a lot of people like Outriders. Outriders is still being played a lot to this fucking day. We just don't hear about it, but a lot of people love fucking Outriders. And I think there is a place for looter shooters and loot style games. They just have to do it fucking right. And I think Suicide Squad is probably going to be that game to do it right. Like, in the team making the game, who's the team making the game? I already know they had a good reputation. Yeah, Rocksteady has a good reputation, a decent reputation rather.
I mean, they made the Arkham games, so
yeah,
so they have a very good reputation for sure. But
well, I mean, Arkham, not Arkham City, but Arkham
Knight. But it didn't hurt them that much. Like, I feel like people still have a really high opinion of them overall, even when
they do.
So, yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I'm just a little superheroed out, so I'm excited about this game. But it's like kind of like another superhero game. But this one though is different. It's like you're playing as the villains, and you're killing the heroes potentially, which is
a good spin on the game. Yeah,
right. So I think this could be fun. Plus, you're gonna get to play as multiple different characters, which I think is always it's risky, but if it works really well.
Yep.
Especially in an action game. So, all right. So we're done with the games we overlap with. So I think what we want to do now, I think I'm going to let DJ go first because you have the most games left to talk about. Go ahead.
I can speedball through most of this.
Yeah, if you want to speed round it, and you can skip whatever you want on your list. You don't need to talk about everything if you don't want to. But go ahead, take it away.
All right, Bayonetta 3, another stylish action game coming out from Platinum Games. It's dropping on Nintendo Switch, which is the only thing that I really hate because I feel like with all the changes they make into that game, the Switch is limiting them on the better improvements to the game, right? So how we got the Ratchet and Clank, right? Ratchet and Clank was able to make a better Ratchet and Clank game because of the next gen consoles, right?
Yeah,
we still stuck on Switch hardware, and so it's not that much they can do. And this is why I think Switch developers are dope.
Just play it on an OLED console, bro. What are you talking about? That's the new Switch.
No, I want to play it on my TV. Like, and the game probably won't look that good on my TV as well. Just like it's just the Switch is limited in Bayonetta, and I hate it. Because I really love Bayonetta and I love Platinum Games and I love stylish action games. And I know this game's going to be dope, just like Astral Chain. But, I mean, if this is like a next-gen game, imagine it's on the PS5 and Xbox One. And it'll look dope because it's Platinum Games. But yes, you got Bayonetta this year. We have DNF Duel. It's a game that's made from a combination of the people who made Marvel's Capcom 3 and Arc System Works. So they are making this dope ass fighting game that's based off of a franchise that's like Granblue called DNF.
Yeah,
in basic Korea.
Gotcha game.
Yeah, and like the purpose of this game or this fighting game is the same thing that the brothers said about League of Legends. Is that yes, like. They want the game to look flashy and it's easy to play, but just because it's easy to play, that doesn't mean everybody's going to be good at it, right? There's a skill level to it. Marvel's Capcom is an easy fighting. Marvel's Capcom 3 is an easy to play fighting game, but like a person who knows how to play the game would beat your ass. Like you're not going to keep up because it's easy to play. So I think this game has all that going on. Plus the characters and like the different transformations they can take is dope. I can't wait to see the full course of the game. I played the beta earlier this year, or it's like 2 months ago. No, was it December? It was for a weekend, but it's dope. I can't wait for this fighting game. Cyberpunk, I just can't wait for the next gen version because I've been wanting to dive into that game again. Like what really goes through my mind in that game is the story, like the side missions, the side characters. The side stories, I should say, And so I can't wait to see what the next gen update. Hopefully they make a lot of dope fixes, or the fixes they should make. Hopefully the game looks like good and better than what it did on the PS5. And I'm looking to play through my male character this time, so I'm waiting for that. Dead Space. I mean, I like Dead Space. I love Dead Space 1 and 2. 3 was trash. We don't talk about that one. And so they remaking 1. They remaking 1, and I'm honestly scared of scary games, but like for some reason I play Dead Space, and knowing how well this game is gonna look with just the next gen graphics, and I'm praying that it's just Dead Space with just new graphics. That you don't change anything. It's just little new graphics. Just give me the same game. Make small changes, maybe, but just little better graphics.
For you, man.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
From what it sounds like, they are like making a whole new game.
Oh my goodness! Now you made me ruin my hype. Let's go. You know what? Dead Space has been removed from the list.
Hey, it can still be good. It can still be good.
It's removed from the list. It's not there.
I think they're still going to fundamentally keep what made Dead Space. Like the dismembering, the dismembering, the atmosphere, and all that shit.
I think it's just the level design is going to be different, probably. Like that's
Which that's something I'm fine with, right? That like if I'm in a familiar place, but it's not too familiar, right? That's dope, because now I'm not playing a game like doing the same thing.
Yeah, remaking it beat for beat actually doesn't really make any sense, because it's a horror game. You want that like surprise element to be there. If people know when the horror beats are coming, that the game is not going to be well received. So
I
actually think it's going to be.
I think it's going to be a like how Resident Evil remake was. Like they remade the game, but they didn't copy the station or the story beats or the jump scare beats word for word and everything of that nature. The game was vastly different from, or not vastly different, but it was just different from like the original Resident Evil 2. Like there were still jump scares for me when I played Resident Evil remake, and it still has this atmosphere because zombies are more tougher, and you know, Mr. X is running the fuck around and everything like that. And it's like, it's just, you know, it just changed the way the game was played. Even though Mr. X is running around in the original one, it just wasn't as scary as it is in this game or in the remake. So I think in this one, it would be cool to have some kind of like necromorph fucking running around chasing you like all the fucking time. And on top of that, you got to deal with the little fucking other little necromorphs and the little fucking baby necromorphs and shit like that. Fuck that game. I love Dead Space.
That would be dope. That would be dope. But yeah, you know, there's Dead Space. My next game is Kirby and the Forgotten Land. It's not like that I'm necessarily excited for a Kirby game. It's a Nintendo platformer, and I haven't played a Kirby game since Kirby on the 64. I think it was like
Me either, man.
Or something like that.
I haven't either. I haven't played one since then either, dude. Oh, that's hilarious.
I know I played a Game Boy Advance one. I just can't tell you the name of it because I played it on, you know, not so well ways.
I can't believe how many Kirby games there are. Like, it's kind of crazy how many there are.
Right?
And so it feels like nobody plays them, but yeah.
And honestly, this looks dope. It looks different. It's a platformer. It's like they also got like that 3D aspect going on where you can walk on through the Z axis besides X and Y. So I'm down for it. Like, why not? It's going to come out, and it's just like Pokemon. Like, I'm not that excited for it, but it's really coming down to it's just another Switch game for me to play. Like, I enjoy playing my Switch, and if I can come back once or twice a year with just a decent enough game that I can have fun with, like, hell yeah, why not? Next is The Little Devils Inside by NeoStream Interactives. This game I've been looking at since they announced it on the PS5. It's that the dude on the train is like, it has like the funny chibi, and then like
so what is this game, bro? Like everyone was hype about this game. I don't see it. So tell me what it is, bro.
Okay, so it's mainly coming from the hype from the first trailer. Like, it's that story base, it's that atmosphere that the first trailer brought on, and it looks like very unique and different. And then like if you especially look at the combat in the later segments of that trailer, it's like, oh yeah, I thought that was going to be the full game, but it's going to be that and like this dope ass story, but it's not. The second trailer fooled me. It's like they took me for a spin. But knowing that I'm still getting that, and there's also like these different elements that's involved, like you kind of going on this full journey, but you interacting with all these people along the way that you can choose to interact with. And it's like these different perspectives of the character. Like they the little like the chibi characters on a map, and then they got like another little chibi overworld, and then you got like the actual over like the world. And so think of it like Final Fantasy, the older Final Fantasies world map when you're traveling from town to town. Like everybody gets small, then you just move over to the next city, and then everything gets like blown up into like that Final Fantasy 7 3D proportion. So it's kind of that. I don't know if it's an RPG, but that's how like the game loop works, and it's like two forms of that chibi mode transportation. But you just do regular RPG stuff, do quests and stuff for different people, but it's honestly linear. It's supposed to have like some branching paths, but like the story is like getting from point A to point Z. And so it looks dope. Like it's a good looking indie game. That's what it comes down to.
Oh, this is an indie game.
Like,
oh
yeah.
Okay. This is very impressive for an indie game for real.
The combat, like if you look to the near end of the trailer, you see the sword combat. It's like, yeah, I'm ready for this. And they for the PlayStation, one of the showcases, they show like I think like 5 or so minutes of gameplay of this. So it's it should be 2 trailers out for it, and the combat looks solid. Like, and I'm a combat type person guy. Like, if the combat looks good in the game, I'm sold. Like, everything else that you put around it is just icing on the cake. And it just looks like a good story game, like an interesting story game that I could play through with good combat. So that's my main reasons for it. I can't wait to play it. If that looks like something you want to play, I probably did a bad job in describing it, but I would suggest look it up, form your own opinion. Next, I have Marvel's Midnight Suns. I want to get into an XCOM style game, and this is a Marvel game. That's the main reason I'm getting into it and why I'm hyped for it. And then last, I have Sonic Frontiers. It's just another Sonic game coming out. I'm that sucker that keeps seeing Transformers movies. That's why they keep getting made. I'm that sucker that keeps buying every Sonic game, and that's why we keep getting Sonic games. So it's not like that I have hope that every Sonic game is going to be good or the next one is going to be good. It's just that I like playing Sonic. I bought Forces, played like the Shadow levels. I never beat the game. I played like the Shadow levels and stopped. I was like, I can't play this game. But, I supported Sonic, right? Because I like Sonic.
Did you play the one where Sonic turns into a werewolf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That game is dope. The world.
Yeah. The Werewolf stats
is not.
They're not good. The daytime stages are good.
If the werewolf stages was shorter, because the werewolf stages is damn like 20 minutes, bro. If the werewolf stages was
what is it with Sonic games?
If it was like a 3-minute stage, it would have been.
Where they like make like 2 different versions of the game, like 2 different gameplay elements, and one of them sucks total dick. And I watched making half the game.
I watched a documentary. I think me and Deejay, we both watched this. So the problem they have with Sonic games is the team doesn't feel that Sonic's gameplay is enough for the player to play the game that you want to play. So they always the whole game. So they always build stuff around it. So that's why in Sonic Adventure, right, you had Tails gameplay, you had Knuckles gameplay and all this.
Which nobody liked the Knuckles gameplay. Nobody liked the fucking Tails gameplay. Like the good levels are the Sonic and Shadow levels. Like straight up. Like that's true.
Yeah, this is true. So but the problem is when they did make a pure game like Sonic Colors, everyone fucking loved it. Everyone's like, oh shit, this is a really good game. Even though that game had the boost mechanic, which I fucking hate. Now I hate it because every game uses it now. At the time, it was
like the 2D stuff. Like, Generations, it was dope. And now I'm like,
yeah, exactly. The 2D stuff is like, they can't add like a pure Sonic 3D Sonic game because they either one, they don't know how to make a pure 3D Sonic game, or 2, they just feel like there's not enough content there for them to do it. So they always feel like if they had to make a Sonic game, that for some reason I think they spend a lot of development time on the 3D Sonic levels, and like these are like huge set pieces and everything of that nature, and they have to fill it in with something else. So that's where you get the Werehog, that's where you get the 2D Sonic, that's where you get all, because those levels, like that's where you get all that shit. And it's whereas a lot of people just want a pure Sonic game. Like, just give us a fucking Sonic game, bro. Like,
all right.
And then like if you're gonna do those goofy mechanics, you gotta treat it like how Nintendo does Mario. Like every Mario is a different mechanic, but it doesn't change the main Mario gameplay loop. It's just an extension to them. And like that's all, and that's how I feel with
that's why people don't
Sonic
like
Adventure
Sunshine.
2. Yeah, exactly. Right. And like Sonic Adventure 2 does that perfectly with Sonic and Shadow. Like their abilities are just nothing but extensions to the character in the gameplay. Like I don't need, well, technically you do need the ring dash to beat the game, but like you don't need like some of the items like the bouncing ball and things of that nature. It's like it's just added mobility to the character. And they don't do that with Sonic games. They just built a new mechanic. They basically built another game and you
I
add
just
Sonic in it.
I just really think they vastly overcomplicate their fans, bro. All we do, really, I'll be honest with you, and this is a meme, but it's 100% true, bro. All you want to do is go fast, bro. Just put me on the level and let me go fast, bro. That's it. Like,
They
just
did
make
that
me
with
go
Sonic
fast.
Generations, and I have fun.
This is what I don't understand with them is that like Sonic Adventure 2 is like I love that game. I think that game is really fun. And the reason I find it so fun is that the Sonic and Shadow levels are just like awesome. Like it's so fun to figure out how to beat the level faster. Like,
Yep.
like that's the game. That was the game for me. I played the first level of the game, the one where Sonic comes down on the snowboard on the fucking street or whatever. Like I played that level like that song. Yeah. I played that shit a million fucking times as a kid. I was so obsessed with trying to get a faster time on it that
Can I tell you a secret?
Yeah.
I played it every morning before I went to school. I
Dude,
had no memory
I
cards.
did the same shit.
No memory cards.
I did the same shit. I was trying to get like a perfect run where I don't fuck it up at all, And I don't remember what my time ended up being on it. I'm sure there's speedrunners that have done crazy shit on it, blow my times away. But when I finally beat my fastest time though, like after doing it for like 50 times in a row, I was so proud of myself, I was like, fuck yes, let's go, dude, and like that was that game, was like doing that shit over and over and over again. And I don't know why it's like score chasing, in a different way. That's what Sonic excels at.
It's rewarding.
Yeah. And they don't seem to get that. It's weird.
Yeah,
that's why I'm mad because they got it with Generations.
They did.
And oh man, and you literally just had to make a sequel to that. But
like don't make levels that like the way Montrell explains the speed boost mechanic, it sounds like it's like stuff that like the player doesn't control, where the level like kind of guides you along. Like that's what Sonic Adventure 2 didn't do. The levels didn't guide you like they could if you were lazy and didn't want to explore them, but there were multiple paths to get to the end and like every single level in that game. And that was the fun of it, is figuring out which combination of paths was fastest,
that's
what makes Generations good.
Yeah, Generations did a good job with the boost mechanic. Even though I still didn't like it, I like Sonic Adventures 2 system, which is based off momentum.
Yes.
And I think momentum.
Yeah, like if you fuck up, you've ruined the whole level for yourself.
Yeah.
What's great about Generations that they did great level design off the boost mechanic. So like it wasn't just pressing a button and you boom forward. Like there was like a lot of segments like where you press forward instead. There's a lot of enemies in your way, so you pressing the right button and left button and dodge like a lot. And there's also just that great level design that we used to see in Sonic Adventure 3, where you had like top, bottom, and mid levels. Like if you go top, you get there faster, but it's harder to stay at those top levels. And like you have to, it's just perfect level design that if you learn how to play the game, and just what you said, Justin, if you learned the different shortcuts, you could be a master. You could just float through the like certain levels in like minutes. Wow.
It's weird that they don't get that. I'm not even a Sonic fan, and I understand like why that's fun. Like it's weird that they don't get that.
They keep trying to cater to different fans and stuff like that instead of just like sticking with works. Like if you ask, so now the landscape has changed. I mean, this is not a Sonic podcast, but now the landscape has changed for our Sonic, right? Like everyone was like, "Yo, just give us Sonic Adventure 3, we'll fucking love it." What people don't understand was Sonic 06 was Sonic Adventure 3, and they fucked that up, and they didn't have enough time to fix the mechanics in that game. Somebody fixed the game. And the game is like flawless. Like that game, I'm like, holy shit, this is actually a good fucking Sonic game. Like when a fan fixed the game, legitimately fixed everything wrong with the game. So it's like if they just had time to actually improve upon that mechanic, and then after Sonic 06, they introduced the boost mechanic with the Werehog with Sonic Unleashed. And I like the boost mechanic, but like I said, like it just went on. They couldn't get away from it because everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's just so good," and it's like, all right, bro, like can we just get away from it? So they don't understand their own fan base, and a lot of fans don't want another Sonic adventure. They want another boost game, and then a lot of the newer fans, that's all they know, right? Like all they know is boost. They don't know about momentum Sonic at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So to them, Sonic
I hope
Adventure is
I hope
archaic.
it tears its momentum.
Yeah.
Well, I think the potential of an open world Sonic game is actually pretty high. It almost to me like it's not about exploration in the sense that you're like going to a spot to like find a collectible or some shit like that. Who gives a shit about that? Like that. The potential of it is that it's like a giant theme park for Sonic, like, you know, where it's like a skate park basically. Like that is kind of what I hope they went for here. But I have my doubts the way you guys talk about it, you know. You know, and like there are collectibles, but it's about challenging the player to get them, you know, like how do you get to that spot up there with what you have in the world, you know, like
You want to know what would be a dope concept from Sonic as far as challenges with collectibles? If it was just like the Sonic the Hedgehog, the original one, like if you want to get the good ending, you got to get all the Chaos Emeralds, but those was challenging to get. So what if it's the same thing in this game? Like you can have the same story, but me getting all my Chaos Emeralds would make me earn Supersonic for that last battle, and I get a different outcome. That would be dope.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to
wishful thinking.
I just want to move how he moves in Sonic Boom trailer and the Sonic Boom or the Sonic CD intro. In the Sonic CD intro, he's just running and like he's doing parkour off fucking rocks and he's running on water and shit. And like, and that's what I want, right? Like I want to do that. And I think Frontiers are giving that, but we just haven't seen gameplay. And this is I'm cautiously optimistic because Sonic games usually show their gameplay really fucking fast. Like you remember Deejay, they show Forces like fucking they were like, oh, look at Forces, guys, this shit's fucking cool, isn't it? And it's like they're very hesitant about this. So to me, they're trying something different. Maybe they are going back to momentum. Maybe they're doing a combination of both, of momentum and boost. So that cautious optimism from that them being cautious to me is letting me know that they're trying something vastly different, and I wanted something vastly different. So I'm looking forward to it, but it is still Sonic Team though, so take it with a grain of salt.
Hey, I got Sonic Boom playing in the background when you was talking. It matched. It was going.
I'm sure that was pretty epic. All right, fair enough. DJ, I think that was your last game, right? That you wanted to talk about.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's move on. I'm gonna go next. I have 3 games. Montrell has 1 left. So mine are all indie games. Well, actually, I think one of them might not be. The first one though is a game called Secrets of Grindia. It is this is a game that has been in development for a long fucking time. Like I'm talking 11 years, I think. I think it started development in 2010 or 2011, something like that. But if you go look this game up, there's a reason why. They are super meticulous about creating this game. They are building it piece by piece. Like it is it's basically like an isometric, almost kind of like Secret of Mana style, but it's an RPG, like a heavy RPG as well. And I'm just I don't remember how long it's been since I heard about this game, but I'm very excited. They're really close to the end. They've posted development updates every week for like 11 years straight.
Wow.
And they just recently finished the final level, and they're working on finishing touches right now, like adding some extra content and stuff like that. So I do think this game's coming out this year. I hope it does, but if it doesn't come out this year, it'll probably be early next year. So I think this one, I think this is going to be a really, really, really good game. I've heard really great things about it because you can play it, you can buy it now and play it actually pretty much to completion as it stands. But I'm going to be patient and wait until it's fully finished. They say it's done. So that one looks good. The next one I want to talk about is Songs of Conquest. This one is just probably very specific to me, but Heroes of Might and Magic is a series that I've talked about a lot. It's one of my favorite series of all time. It's a turn-based strategy game where you fight other players. There's like different factions, and you have to build your army up and build your bases up and take over the map. And there's like a lot of little there's like exploration within the game, and then there's leveling your heroes and stuff like that. There's a lot of mechanics in the game. This game is like a spiritual successor to that. It is not a carbon copy of what Heroes of Might and Magic does. It definitely looks different, but I came across this game very recently, and it's supposed to be coming out this year, and I am very much looking forward to this one. So that is Songs of Conquest. And the last one is a game called Arcadian Atlas. This is one I've been following for a while. It was a Kickstarter a few years ago. It is a tactical RPG in the style of Final Fantasy Tactics or Tactics Ogre. I'd say it's closer to Tactics Ogre. That's what it seems to be, more what they're going for than Final Fantasy Tactics, but larger scale battles than what Final Fantasy Tactics has. But this game was in development hell for a while. It was actually close to, I feel like, being canceled. But last year, the people making it actually got a publisher to fund the game, and they are now working on it full time instead of doing it in their off time. So this game is on its way to being finished now, and I think it should be coming out this year. So I'm really looking forward to this one too. I'm not as excited about this one as the other two, but I need to see more gameplay before I really get like super excited about it. But everything I've seen of it, they're making a game that it basically speaks directly to me. So it's kind of hard not to be excited for it. So all right, those are my final 3 games. Montrell, you have one more, or maybe more if you haven't written them down. Go ahead.
No, I just got one more.
Yes.
So
go ahead and talk about
mine is Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. So if you guys are familiar with Jet Set Radio, I'm a huge fan of Jet Set Radio. Helped me through some dark times as a kid. It's like, but no. So during summertime, man, when I had nothing to do, I would play Jet Set Radio. It was one of the reasons I took a trip to Japan after high school and everything of that nature. I just love the world of Jet Set Radio because you were a kid, you were a gang rather, and you were you had skates, inline skates, and you would like grind. This came out during like the X Games era, right? But it was so different from those games.
Sports.
Yeah, Extreme Sports. It was so different from those games because it melded in hip hop, like the dance battle things, and like graffiti and skating all in one game. And the music, the atmosphere, and everything was just fucking good. And then they came out with Jet Set Radio Future, which is a Xbox exclusive. Original Xbox exclusive, and that just made the world even bigger, and expanded upon like what you can do as your little Jet Set Radio Future gang and everything like that. And the music was like a big part of that. Unfortunately, this franchise just went fucking dark. Sega forgot about it, and they just never touched it again.
What you mean? They put it on side of Sega's Racing All Stars with the Sonic. I forget the game name. All Stars Racing Transform. There you go.
Yeah,
was inside of there.
Yeah, Beat was inside there, but whatever. Like they just completely forgot about the fucking game. Yeah. So Team Reptile, I actually did play one of their older games, which is called what was the name of that game called? It was pretty much like it was like a dodgeball game that you can play. And they made that game. Lethal League.
Oh yes, that game dope. Oh, they made that?
Yeah, they made that game.
Oh, that game so fucking. That's a fighting game too. A fighting baseball. That's like dope, man. I love that game.
Yeah. So they made this game, and I played it because it looked dope. It was like a fighting dodgeball game that you could do combos with and flip and everything. It was crazy.
That sounds really cool, dude.
Yeah,
what's it called? Hold on.
Lethal League Blaze. Yeah, and so it's a ball that comes in the middle of the screen. Basically, everybody has like some sort of a bat, and all you do is hit the ball, right? If you press X, you got like a regular straight hit, and you can control it to go up or down. But then to counter that, you got bunts, which bunts the ball in the air. And so in the counter of bunts, I think you got grabs because you can grab the ball out the air. And so it's like a triangle game counter. And so especially in the late game, and when the ball be going super fast, that should be cold, bro. Oh, it's a dope party game. Buy that game. We should be playing that. We should be playing that game.
What's crazy about it is a lot of people don't know this had an actual league. Like there were people There were people streaming this game and they had a league and
Yeah.
everything, bro.
This looks really cool, dude. What the
Yeah.
fuck is this? This is awesome.
Yeah, so
I think it's on Game Pass. I want to say it is.
It's on
Steam,
Steam.
too.
You can definitely get on
Steam,
Steam.
too.
Yeah, you can get on Steam. Yeah.
So when I found out that they were making this game called, because the game, if you look at Lethal League, it's almost in the spirit of Jet Set Radio. When I saw this,
yeah,
I was like, "Yo, this is kind of like Jet Set Radio, but like a fighting game or whatever." But then when they announced Bomb Rush Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, that is essentially Jet Set Radio Future 2. The team they said they loved Jet Set Radio. They actually went to Sega and was like, "Yo, we will make this game for you. Just give us the fucking license." So Sega said no. And they actually got the music producer who made all the fucking music in Jet Set Radio. I think they got some of the fucking consulting from the old people that made Jet Set Radio and everything. And they're making Bomb Rush Cyberpunk exclusively for the Switch, and I think it's going to come to later consoles later. But yeah, man, like it looks exactly like what I want from
Yo, this fire. This is my first time seeing the trailer of it. Like this.
No, it looks so I've seen a couple trailers of this because of Montrell's excitement. And no, I will say that this game looks really fucking cool. I may actually buy this and play it. Like I said, I was looking for something I'm looking for something different, and this is definitely something different.
Yeah.
You should play Going Under.
Really good.
Yeah, and when I saw this game too, it just like every time they announced it, every time they show gameplay footage, it's like what I wanted from a sequel to the game, and it looks like a legit sequel to the original game. If you look up Jet Set Radio Future and you see that gameplay, it looks like a legit sequel to that game. And yeah, I recommend anybody who likes those type of games. The music is for me, the music is just as important as the gameplay itself, and they nailed it out the park with the trailer music they're playing and everything, and the track list they released, and they even had a contest for people because in an original Jet Set Radio Future game, you can make your own graffiti like from scratch. Like they gave you like a little pen and everything. You can make your own graffiti, and they actually had a contest for people to make their own graffiti that they'll put in the game. It just ended like last month, but I thought that was really fucking cool. So yeah, I can't wait to see the gangs you got to go fight against and everything of that nature, because you're fighting over a turf war for graffiti and shit. But you also got like little mini dance battles and shit like that. It's fucking dope. I like the game.
Fair enough. Yeah, it looks really good. Check it out, everybody. And yeah, check out Lethal League Blaze. This is probably the weirdest game you've ever seen. It's basically a fucking fighting game, but it's so weird. It looks awesome. This game looks really fun. But yeah, so check those out. All right, well, boys, we just talked about what, like 30 or 40 fucking games.
Yeah.
So I wanted to end the show. I know we've been going a while, but just real quick, I wanted to ask overall thoughts on 2022. Are you guys excited or what?
Fuck yeah, man. This is the year I've been waiting for, man. Fuck
Hell
2021.
yeah, dude. Yeah. 2021
this feels
was
like
bad
that
year.
1 year when we had a crap ton of good games coming out for like the
2015.
PS3 generation.
No, I was told
was it a
definitely
PS3 or
2017. It was 2017.
2017, yeah. 2015 and 2017 were both really good years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what
But
this feels like.
I know what DJ's talking about.
Plus, we still have don't have a lot left to announce, or we don't know what's been announced or going to be announced within like this empty space. So, it could turn out to be like a super pack year for video games. Like
I just
every
wanna
month,
say,
I
too,
feel like it may be something.
I just want to say too that like indie games are really they really stepped it up. I'm glad indie development costs have went down. I'm glad engines have been more accessible for indie developers, because like a lot of these indie developers are making games of our dreams that we wanted. And I really fucking respect it.
Yeah.
I know I was really harsh when I first started the podcast. I was really harsh on indie developers because I understand from development wise costs, they were forced to work in that 2D retro style, but now that they can make more modern, games and things of that nature. Like even DJ's making a game that he's going to announce the end of the podcast, but even that game like looks fucking dope as shit. So it's like people have, and he's just one person. So just imagine like a team of indie developers who have, the ambition that he has and everything of that nature. So
well, it's accessible, right? Like I'm in the midst of like thinking about I'm actually trying to learn how to make stuff. Because I want to make shit too, man. Like there's like the genres that I like they're underrepresented. That's why I'm like super excited about a couple of the games I talked about at the end there. Because they're rare. Like I don't get a lot of them, and to the point that like I want to make one of those, because I know how to make it, And there's a group of people that it speaks to,
Yeah, and I really feel like that's really cool that a lot of gamers are fed up with the way the industry is moving right now, and they're just taking shit into their own hands. And indie is definitely that path. I wanted middleware developers, but fuck it, let's just go indie. Like
that's exactly what I think's happening with indie. Like, it's just a place where you can find the niche games that you like that we know that the big people is not going to make. And so and what's great is that those niche games that you like is starting to become good niche games. It's not like just shovelware that's being put out there. And so just like any other game, there's a crap ton of games out there, but there's a lot of quality indie games out there, especially quality indie games that you like and may have never heard of because the big gaming presses don't talk about them. And so that's why it's best to just keep your own eyes out and look for things.
Well, the point we've come with like a game like Hades from Supergiant, right? Like they're an indie studio, and that's one of the best games like I've ever played. These guys, the level that these guys are making games at now is starting to blow my mind. Like I can't believe what these teams are capable of.
And these are like 10 people.
Yeah, man. Like I mean, Supergiant, I think is a little bigger than that at this point, but not that much. They're not huge.
Not like 20. They're not like over 30.
Well, yeah, I think it's probably more like 20, but still, that's not a lot of people.
Bro, look at Cuphead.
Game, but
2 people made Cuphead.
2 people made that. Yeah, 2 people made Cuphead. One guy made Stardew Valley. Like, think about that.
One guy made Undertale.
Yeah, one dude made Undertale.
That's insane.
Yeah,
that's like a cultural phenomenon now. Everyone loves
that's what I'm saying. I think that's why I'm interested. I think that's why Deejay's getting into it too. It's just like it's possible for us as individuals to do that shit. If you put the effort in and learn how to do something and you do it right and you put the time in, like you will be rewarded if you make a good game, So I don't know, it's exciting times. As much as we bitch on this show about AAA and the publishers and what they're doing with like microtransactions and NFTs and all this shit, there's a space where none of that shit exists, and that's the indie space, and it's really exciting. It's kind of something for me that I'm endeavoring to kind of get more into, is get more like play more indies, because I think I've become a little jaded with the AAA industry at the moment.
100%
I'm like
the same.
I'm really struggling to play shit right now, because I'm tired of what they're churning out. It's all the same shit, man. And the indie space is exciting. Like there's shit there that like no one else is making. So yeah, no, 2022 is shaping up to me to be, I don't know, man. This is going to be obviously the year to beat probably going forward for this generation, but with everything we talked about, like if all these games come out, like this is going to be one of the best years we've ever had, probably, of games.
I just wanted to add, like, I remember being really scared because I remember, we know that development costs are getting higher as the the cause for people to want more graphical fidelity and everything of that nature. I honestly think the landscape has changed as far as like people wanting all this big budget graphics into their games. A lot of people just want a really solid game. Like they just want the game to look pretty decent. Like, yo, just give me like some great game mechanics and a great story or whatever. And that's it. And I feel like, which is ironic, this is the most accessible indie games have been in the history of gaming. Like, even though this is probably the more expensive side of like gaming, I think this generation is the most accessible because you got Unreal 5, that engine, and you got Unity. I think Unity 2 is coming out. And you just got all these engines that are accessible and easy to use for like newer users to just jump into and make the game of their dream. So I'm really excited. Not even for 2022. I'm excited for 2023 and 2024 because I know there are some great underground indie games that's just gonna like blow our fucking minds. You know what I'm saying?
But even outside of indie, like AAA, like we've got a good lineup of games this year from AAA. Like,
and I think this is going to be the generation of games with more and better mechanics. Like I think I think this year we're gonna see an improvement mechanic wise, and you're gonna see a fall back on fidelity wise as far as certain graphics. So I think we're gonna go for more of a realism to a stylistic shift. But those stylistic games are gonna look good as fuck because it's that's just less fucking polys to work with when you go on stylistic, but like the effects and everything that goes, the post processing could make that game look beautiful as hell. Like it's going to be games like Ratchet and Clank. Not saying it's going to look like that, but like it's going to be stylistic, but it's going to look beautiful. It's going to have all the reflections and all the frames that you want. It's going to have all those buzzwords, but those games are going to be mechanically like on another level. And I think this is going to affect the Nintendo Switch because we're going to want more games like that, and we're not going to get it from Nintendo. We're going to have like dope ass game experiences, hopefully, with these other, consoles in later years.
And I really hope
they're going to announce. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I really hope like the big publishers and everything like that. I really hope they see that a lot of gamers, like you said, DJ, want stylistic games and everything of that nature. We don't want. Like, for instance, I didn't need Devil May Cry to be photorealistic. I just needed it to be like
that being photorealistic was a plus.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Was good.
Yeah, I didn't need that though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't need for it to be like that.
That shit could look like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I would have been happy.
Exactly. And I think a lot of a lot of middle like AA studios are recognizing that, like, hey, we don't have to have Call of Duty style graphics. We can still churn out a game that's like really fucking good and or that looks decent, but like put more enemies on the screen because we're using a stylized approach to it,
Yeah. Well, that's where Sony has to. They got to start thinking about differentiating themselves because they've really gone down this path of hyper realistic third person action games, and it's gotten a little kind of trite, I guess, at this point for me. I think a lot of people, I've heard this opinion more and more over the years, but it's starting to get there. Like Horizon's not it. I think God of War though, you may see some fatigue with that game, if it's not mechanically enhanced enough compared to the first game. That I think that game may end up being a little bit more divisive than I think people would expect. So because that's where Nintendo lives, is in that stylized space, and which is why they still are so successful, because their games are accessible to a lot of people as a result of their design philosophies. And even Microsoft, like they are diversifying, right? Like they just released Psychonauts 2 in August, which is a stylized platformer basically, and
I mean they also have Game Pass,
so right, they have Game Pass, of course,
because you have a lot of like those type of games will release on Game Pass. Like that's the great thing about it, is that you can see something and it's on Game Pass, you can download and try it. Like damn, like
indies are all over Game Pass, dude. Like if you're looking for indies, man, there's tons of indies on Game Pass. So yeah, it's interesting. The industry is in an interesting spot right now, and I'm really excited to see kind of where it goes from here. But yeah, I don't know. I think 2022 is going to be a really fun year. Hopefully we don't have too many delays, but we probably will. All right. Well, boys, this was a long episode. Thank you for sticking with me this whole time. But we had a good conversations in here. So, all right. Well, so for those of you, if you like this episode, please like the episode, review the show, and subscribe to the show on whatever feed you are listening to it on. And please share it with your friends. If you'd like to interact with us on Twitter, you can do so at iTrap for the Hokage, for Montrell. That is the number 4, not the word. I'm at Thundernut01, and the show is at the Player's Take. If you'd like to send us a question, you can do so on Twitter, or you can send us an email to theplayerstake01@gmail.com. And DJ, get your plugs in, man. Where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and YouTube at DJ Huga. That is spelled out DeeJay. Huga, Hyuga, just like the Naruto people. I have a game that I'm working on. It's called Isekai right now, Project Isekai. Title is not yet set. It is a stylish action. It's a stylish action game. No, let me repeat this. It's a stylish action rogue like adventure game. So I am in a process of basically getting everything else together. Hopefully I'm done with that by the end of this year. And I have like the vision of what the game is. And next year I get to worry about like the design of the game, how characters and all that other stuff will look like. But I have an updated demo that you can play right now on my itch page. It is DJ Huga .itch, like you scratching yourself .io/isekai. Spell it out DeeJayHyuga .itch.io/ISEKAI. I would like any feedback. I try to keep this demo updated. I put patch notes on my demo, on my demos page. So just download it. It's only for PC right now. Any feedback is greatly appreciated because it can help me make a better game. And please share all of my links because who knows, the person you following could be the person that wants to play my game or the person that's following you. You never know. And it's also free to retweet, just like my demo. The shit's free. So why not?
All right. Fair enough. Check that out, everybody. It actually looks really I like what I've seen of it so far, DJ. Like the animations you have are very impressive.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So I really do appreciate the compliment.
Looking forward to that.
No, the game looks really fucking dope. I was thoroughly surprised when I saw it and I played it. So
yeah. So that's so to our point earlier, right? This stuff's accessible, man. Like we're just normal guys. We all have jobs, like and we can do this shit if we really put the effort in, So that which is awesome. That's great. Games are more accessible than they've ever been. Yeah, man. Games are awesome. They really are. So boys.
One more thing before we stop. Can we stop shitting on gamers, y'all? Like, I understand everybody doesn't participate in the hobby, but like, stop comparing it to other people. That shit's getting annoying now. I'm sorry. It's just, I saw someone say, "Stop playing video games and go out and hunt," and I'm like, "Bitch, I do both."
Like, so, why not both? Like the meme? Yeah. Why not both?
So, I don't know. Just stop shitting on other people's hobbies, bro. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's getting really weird.
Doesn't matter what it is. Games, whatever. Movies, TV.
Gamers don't shit on your hobby, so why shit on ours?
Actually, that's not true. Gamers do shit on sports. They do shit on sports.
They do
because they shit on us. That's
I know,
a trade-off.
And it's stupid. It's stupid. The whole thing to me is stupid. Like Montrell
that's
and I
just
are both like
nerd reality.
It's the nerd versus jock thing, which is dumb because sports fans are nerds too. Like they just don't know it. Like Montrell and I have crossover. We both watch sports and play video games, so it's like it's like there's so much in common there between those two groups of people. It's dumb that they antagonize each other.
Bro,
like, it makes no sense to me.
I was watching this one commentator for League of Legends. He's like a commentator and he's a fucking coach or whatever. And a team consultant. And he was talking about League of Legends and he was talking about like draft picking and how important it is and everything and all the different combination of champions you can do. So someone walked in on me like listening to it, right? And it was my boss and she was like, "Wow, like this is a video game?" I'm like, "Yeah, but it's like the actual league and stuff like that." She's like, "He sounds like a sports commentator." And I'm like, "Yeah, sports commentators sound exactly like this when they're talking about the fucking football teams and, if Brady, does Brady have this combination with, AD, with fucking AB? We don't know. Maybe this and this and that.
Not anymore.
Like, yeah, well, not anymore. Yeah, obviously. But like, I was listening when I was listening to it, I'm like, this sounds exactly like I'm listening to fucking ESPN.
It does, bro. And anybody playing fantasy sports and is like coming at gamers, shut up, dude. You're like a bigger nerd than like 75% of gamers. You sit on your little fucking page looking at stats, fucking
Min-maxing.
like calculating like fucking like get the fuck out of here, dude. Like you're a fucking nerd. Shut the fuck up. Like you're literally like, oh, I need Brady to get like 3 touchdowns and 257 yards passing and fucking. It's like, dude, like you're a fucking nerd. Like get over it, okay? So yeah, stop banging on each other, everybody. We all have fun doing our own thing. Like it's fine, you know. We don't have to make fun of people for their hobbies. We're beyond that. That's like school. That's school ground shit. Are you in elementary school anymore? No. So, all right.
These fuckers are playing fucking Fortnite now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And they're running circles around you. So, old man.
They made me put up the game. I was like,
They built a castle around your little house, your little hamlet that you built.
What? I was still doing 4x4 towers, and then there was a castle over me. I was like, "Yep, it's time to uninstall."
The kid was probably like 7, you know? Fucking dominating you.
I was like, it was fun when it first started.
Yeah, not anymore.
It's not so fun.
I quickly recognize in Fortnite, I'm like, man, I'm not good at this building shit. I hate it, actually.
Yeah, because
I can't do it.
we saw even when Xander was playing, like Xander like can build that shit.
And
Our
he's like-
friends, our
he's
friend's
like 5.
son. Yeah, he's like 5. He was like dominating people in Fortnite. I'm like, bro, I can't even play this game. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
man?
he had
This
like
is
20 kills in a game or something like that. It was like, I was like, what? Bro, he's playing handheld on the Switch too, like dominating fools, you know? So yeah.
It's like that video where that dude was playing on the iPad. He got shot by lightning. He was like, I had a fucking 10 bomb in Fortnite on the iPad.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Love it. I love it. Oh man.
All right, boys. Well, thank you for sticking with us. Everybody listening, thank you for sticking with us through this very, very long episode. But these are the best ones. These are my favorite episodes. I love previewing the year. It's super fun. So, hey, send us comments. Tell us what you guys are looking forward to this year. I'd love to hear that. So, all right, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next week. Bye.